ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ
ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Yes, 5-10 minutes.
Lighting the lamp, yes, sir.
ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಫೋಕಸ್?
Good morning, Venkatesh sir.
Morning, sir. Yes, sir. Mathari, sir.
ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್.
ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್.
Hello, sir. Sir. Good. Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Santanu audible?
Yeah, sir. Audible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Exactly 10 minutes back, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir.
ನೋಡಿ ಇವಾಗ ಬನ್ನಿಲಿ. This logo you have to bring it little less. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇವಾಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್
Good morning, sir.
ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್
Hemant, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. So can we start?
Yeah, please, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning to all of you. We good morning to all of you. We at Seshadripuram Group of Institution is going to see a new beginning with the establishment of Kscsd Seshadripuram Group of Institution IP Cell in the month of August 3rd, Monday 2020. So we welcome all the eminent dignitaries for this virtual inauguration of Kscsd Seshadripuram Group of Institution IP Cell at Seshadripuram First Grade College, Yelahanka, Bengaluru, one of the premier flagship institute of Seshadripuram Educational Trust, established in 1930. And this occasion, we have the eminent dignitaries like Vice Chancellor of Bangalore Central University, Professor Jafet sir. We have Executive Secretary of Kscsd, Hemant sir. We have our own renowned CEO and Honorable General Secretary sir, Dr. Udepi Krishna sir. We have our Honorable Trustee W.D. Ashok sir, IQAC head, and virtually our President sir, who has sent us a message. On this August beginning, I'd like to tell that this IPR cell is the key or the changing factor for all the intellectual students and faculties. We could have seen the classical example. What we could give is J.C. Bose and the radio Marconi. We could see because of this IPR, India has lost many important discoveries and inventions to the Western world. India, though being the second largest population in the world, we are good at research, but we lack to preserve our important patents. So in this regard, we are really grateful to our esteemed Executive Secretary Hemant sir for helping and supporting us to establish that IP cell at this faster space at this institution, and to the premier institute, that is Seshadripuram Educational Trust. With this, I would like to briefly invite our Hemant Kumar sir, who is currently serving as Executive Secretary in Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology. He joined the council in 1985 as a project engineer and has a postgraduate degree in civil structures engineering from Bangalore University. Currently, he heads the TISC and PIC KSCST and guides in conducting the IPR programs and development of IP ecosystem at the council. His area of specialization includes geospatial technologies, spatial data infrastructure, alternate building technologies, watersheds, and minor irrigation tanks and e-governance. Further, we'll be lucky enough to hear him post the inauguration for the overview. Next, we have, Vice Chancellor sir has just put a message stating that he will be joining us at 10:15. So that prior to that, I introduce our most profiling and dynamic Secretary Sir Dr. Udepi Krishna, who is an engineer, educationist, social activist, and humanist. And we are really grateful to him for his immense support and encouragement that we could launch this Kscsd Seshadripuram Group Institution IP Cell today. Dr. Udepi Krishna is a transformational leader with a rare blend of technologist, educationist, social activist, and humanist. A Gandhian constructive worker, he represents the ideal of a public person who commands respect from whosoever he comes into contact by what he stands for, and demonstrates in his attitudes, actions, and behavior. Born in 1963 in Bangalore, he hails from a family of freedom fighters and is an excellent team player. After receiving his early education at famous Sri Ramakrishna Vidyashala, Mysuru, run by Ramakrishna Math and Mission, he graduated to do the PhD in business administration. Dr. Udepi Krishna is a recipient of Eminent Engineer Award for the contribution and in the field of engineer from the Institute of Engineers. He is a multifaceted person and visionary, proactive in the field of education, social initiatives, and humanitarian cause. Scholarly and synergistic endeavors has been creating significant impact on the socio-educational ecosystem. Dedicated, dynamic, and goal-driven motivator with many years of progressive experience in array of fields, documented success in various academic endeavors by providing constructive education. Government of Karnataka has honored him with State Award for Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, State Award, Youth Award for Youth and Community Services, and State Rajyotsava Award for Lifetime Achievement in Social Services. In recognition of the dedicated service to the nation, Dr. Krishna has been confirmed with President's Gold Medal, the highest national award given for exceptional Red Cross humanitarian work of high order by the President of India. This is just a brief profile of both our Executive Secretary of Kscsd, Hemant Kumar sir, and Dr. Udepi sir. So now I'd like to request our Honorable General Secretary sir, Dr. Udepi Krishna sir, to welcome the August gathering and introduce Seshadripuram Educational Trust established in 1930. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Shantanu. Professor S. Jaffet, who's going to join us shortly. Shri Hemant Kumar H., Executive Secretary of the Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology. My esteemed colleague on the Board of Trustees of Seshadripuram Educational Trust, Shri W.D. Ashok, Principal of Seshadripuram First Grade College, Yelahanka, which is organizing this very important program on behalf of the Seshadripuram Educational Trust. Secretary of Bangalore North Science Forum, Professor Shantanu Das, distinguished participants, and my dear friends. This is a very unique program. I must first congratulate Seshadripuram First Grade College for having taken up this important program as an initiative of their internal quality assurance cell. In fact, this particular program has been also organized, and two other special events that are going to be held simultaneously is the inauguration of the IP cell of the Seshadripuram group in association with the Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology, and also a 3 days faculty development program on the IPR issues. Friends, this program is being organized in association with Kscsd and also the Cell for IPR Promotion and Management, CPAM, then the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, then Karnataka Science and Technology Academy, which is a part of the Department of Science and Technology, the Government of Karnataka. So this is a very, very important program that is being organized, particularly to highlight the faculty members, because IPR means, you know, it gives what is called exclusive rights over creation of their minds for a certain period of time. And the very objective of this IPR is to reward and encourage creative work, whether it could be patents or, you know, through paintings, designs, or research papers or articles or whatever is called the original work, which is a creative work, that is the rights arising out of such creative work need to be protected. And the rights are not absolute. They come with certain conditions and then a whole lot of baggage. And that is the real purpose of understanding IPR in its full perspective. And I feel that, you know, Seshadripuram institutions should take this up, because all stakeholders of higher education today need to be enlightened about the issues of IPR. Because particularly when the new education policy is focusing on teaching and research, it says teaching and research should go hand in hand, right from the undergraduate level, then postgraduate and onwards. So I feel that this is a very profound program, and I can heartily congratulate Seshadripuram First Grade College for having initiated such a wonderful program. Friends, Seshadripuram Educational Trust is a 90-year-old organization which has been catering to the educational needs of nearly 23,000 students across 4 districts of Karnataka. We have about 34 institutions, and right from kindergarten up to PhD. We have a law college, we have management colleges, and a number of postgraduate courses and degrees through which we have been serving the cause of education. And Seshadripuram group of institutions has made a mark in the educational map of Karnataka. And I'm happy that today Professor S. Jaffet, who is a very distinguished academician and a very good administrator, academic administrator, he has been a part of this program because he is also a law expert, and definitely his contribution and his words, particularly his inaugural message, will definitely carry a lot of weight to this program. On behalf of all the associated institutions, I extend a very warm welcome to Professor S. Jaffet. I also extend in absentia my warm welcome to Professor S. Ayyappan, who is the chairman of Karnataka Science and Technology Association, and Shri N.R. Panditaradhyaji, who could not be physically present in this webinar, but otherwise also he has sent in his message. And my special welcome to the Executive Secretary of Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology, Mr. H. Hemant Kumar. He is now to give us the opening remarks about this program. And a keynote will be given by our trustee, Shri W.D. Ashok. I extend a very cordial welcome both to Shri Hemant Kumar and Shri Ashokji. I would like to congratulate Dr. S.N. Venkatesh for organizing this program, and also in association with all his colleagues, Professor Shantanu Das and a number of other colleagues. And today we have also IP attorney of the Karnataka State Science and Technology, Mr. Vivek Anand Sagar. He is also a key resource person, and he is also going to contribute to this webinar. On behalf of all the organizations, I extend a warm welcome to Shri Vivek Anand Sagar and also Dr. S.N. Venkatesh. Friends, Professor S. Jaffet will be also inaugurating the IP cell, virtual IP cell, about which Professor Shantanu Das told us. And Mr. Vivek Anand Sagar would be speaking on overview of intellectual property rights. And we'll have experts from CPAM also sharing knowledge on technology and innovation in various fields and particularly startups. And the issue of patents and how to protect them and the procedures, etc., will be discussed by patent agent Dr. Sarasija Padmanabhan. And then I extend a warm welcome to all these renowned speakers also. Shri Nagarjun MG, Project Associate of the Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology, will be speaking on industrial designs, production and case studies. Mr. Kodandaram of the Indian Revenue Service would be speaking on trademarks, protection, registration and case studies. And also Mrs. Nandini Dolepat, she's from America, and then she would be speaking on GI protection and promotion and local MSMEs. And we have again Ms. Brinda Verma speaking on institutional IP policy and technology transfers. And Dr. Vijay Kumar Sahu, Regional Manager, UN Wipro Technology and Innovation Support Center, Visakhapatnam. So he would be speaking on IP commercialization. Mr. Nagarjun and Vivek both will be conducting the IP quiz in the end. I extend a warm welcome to all these distinguished speakers and resource persons on behalf of all the participants. And finally, I would like to extend a warm welcome to the conveners and the coordinators, Professor Salma Banu, Mr. Ashok ML, Mrs. Sindhu, Mr. Sunil Kumar, Mr. R. Banumati, Mrs. R. Banumati, and then Mr. S.S. Manjunath, Professor B.G. Suma, Mr. S. Prabhakar, Mrs. Murtula Sojan, Ms. Pratibha S.B., Ms. Chaitra M.V. of the Seshadripuram Law College, and all other faculties who are putting their effort in organizing this program. My special welcome to all the participants, because I only wish that because this is a 3-day faculty development program, this should definitely be very enriching and a rewarding exercise for all the participants, particularly the faculty, because it is through you that we need to take it to the younger generation. And therefore you need to be empowered. And I wish the whole deliberation to be very fruitful, meaningful and engaging. Wish you all a good Godspeed. And then I once again extend a warm welcome to each and every one of the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So we are blessed and lucky enough that our eminent Vice Chancellor of Bangalore Central University, Dr. S. Jaffet sir, has joined us. So on behalf of Seshadripuram Group of Institutions, we welcome Professor S. Jaffet sir. So Professor S. Jaffet is the founding Vice Chancellor of the new Bengaluru Central University. Prior to this, he has held unique positions of professor and key administrator of National Law School of Indian University, NLSIU, Bengaluru. He had been the member of the Academic Council, Executive Council, chairperson of the Postgraduate and Undergraduate Council at NLSIU. He has been the pioneer in initiating master's program in Public Policy MPP program, which is the sole and exclusive center among other national law schools in the country and one of its kind in the universities in India. As a teacher, he has been active in production and dissemination of knowledge to the students more than 3 decades and is an institute leader and administrator enabling expansion and excellence in the field of higher education. Professor Jaffet has had experience in engaging with institutions abroad as a professor at William and Mary College and William and Mary School of Law, USA. Distinguished visiting faculty at Indiana University, USA, Warwick University, UK. Professor Jaffet has been invited by social science and law faculty at Duke University, University of Brandeis, Columbia University, New York University in USA, and University of Glasgow in United Kingdom for special lectures. He has also published articles in national and international journals and has published a couple of books. He has coordinated major research projects for Government of India and Government of Karnataka, which had policy and law reform implications. He has organized and coordinated national and international seminars and conferences, which initiated intensive debates and discourse on the contemporary issues. He has supervised and guided scholars for PhD and dissertations. Apart from his contribution to the domain of higher education, he has evolved an ecosystem of excellence in universities across the country as a member of expert committees. Central and state governments such as ICSSR, UGC, Film Review Committee, Doordarshan, member, National Committee on the World Conference Against Racism, constituted by the Prime Minister of India, several committees of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Niti Aayog, etc. As founding Vice Chancellor, he has initiated major reforms at Bengaluru Central University, BCU. He has introduced e-governance in the examination management system and result processing and online affiliation process system, which has brought about efficient, transparent, speedy governance of the university administration. Several measures are under process, both in academic and physical infrastructure for building BCU as a global university. So now I request Dr. S. Jaffet sir, then Mr. H. Hemant Kumar, Executive Secretary, Kscsd, and our Honorary General Secretary, Seshadripuram Educational Trust, Dr. Uday Krishna sir, to virtually inaugurate the IP cell. And request Professor S. Jaffet sir to give the inaugural address for the virtual IP cell of Kscsd, Seshadripuram Group of Institutions, Bengaluru. Over to Professor Jaffet sir.
Elrigu namaskara. Very pleasant good morning to all of you. Dr. Uday Krishna, General Secretary, Seshadripuram Educational Trust, Professor Shantanu Das, Nodal Officer, IPR Cell, my dear distinguished faculty of Seshadripuram First Grade College. I'm emphasizing on that, very distinguished faculty. Okay, I'm so proud of the faculty and the management under the leadership of Dr. Uday Krishna. My dear students and delegates and research persons who have been participating in this very important program. It's always a pleasure for me to participate in the activities organized by the Seshadripuram Educational Trust, particularly the colleges that come under my jurisdiction. They have been so innovative, thoughtful, and always forward-looking, futuristic. And it's whenever I get an invitation, without any second thought, I accept, and I have participated and been associated in quite a few of the activities organized by Seshadripuram First Grade College and the institutions. Let me, at the very outset, congratulate Dr. Uday Krishna P. Krishna and his team for, India Today 2020 survey has ranked Seshadripuram institutions as a second among the affiliate institutions, and 39th college of the commerce college institutions. I tell you, I mean, they deserve it, and I would like to congratulate, and this event that you have been organizing is at another milestone in the achievement of Seshadripuram Educational Trust and these institutions. Friends, it gives me immense pleasure to inaugurate this IP cell, the Seshadripuram College has been launching, plus the 3-day faculty development program on IPR issues. Yes, to some extent, I have been associated with the policy that the government of India evolved on IPR while I was in National Law College, National Law School, particularly on something that was related to knowledge, traditional knowledge system and IPR. Anyhow, as you know, any human civilization, if it has to progress, it has to rest on its capacity to create and invent new ideas, new knowledge, inventions, and technology, and so on and so forth. Whatever that we have been enjoying as human beings today, whether it is in terms of our language, artifacts, technology, the various kinds of tools, all that we have been enjoying has been the product of human civilization. And that is a continuous process. In order to enhance the quality of life, quality of human happiness, we have to continuously engage ourselves in creation of new knowledge. And as you know, a very big challenge has now been thrown up because of this COVID-19 pandemic, where hundreds of people, the scholars and institutions, universities across the globe are engaged, are busy in trying to discover, invent, and design a vaccine for this this coronavirus disease. Friends, while yes, sometime maybe a few decades ago, probably whatever that we invented was supposed to be the asset and the wealth of all human beings, irrespective of the differences of culture, region, and whatever. But of late, although we call ourselves as one, global village and so on, where we have all come together as one community, global community, because of the information technology and communication and whatnot, still we have created our own boundaries in the name of sovereignty, in the name of geography, in the name of ideology, in the name of various kinds of things. We have erected our own boundaries. Although we have been probably coming together, still I think we are getting, further and separated on various counts. Probably because of this, we require some, kind of a regulation, because as you know, many of the things our ancestors, forefathers, people for centuries who have, who out of their labor, who have given us all the things that we have enjoyed, we have been enjoying, whether it is some of medicine or language, symbols, signs, artifacts, and a lot of things. And it is a continuous process. But many of these things have been appropriated by vested interests, okay? Particularly the knowledge, the indigenous knowledge system. We don't know who invented, who created. The creators are nowhere. We don't remember them. They are not visible. But many of these things, whether it is music, whether it is, a lot of things have been appropriated and they have been commercialized, marketized. But I think today we need to have a much more efficient and equitable IP system that can help all countries to realize IEP potential that can be a catalyst for socio-economic and cultural well-being of all human beings. I think today there are compelling reasons why we need to have a IPR system that can govern our own country and the countries across the globe. And there have been efforts at the global level where there have been by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights itself recognizes, outlines the intellectual property rights under, I think, Articles 27 or so. So there are compelling reasons, I said, because these things are not were unregulated. So in order to make it much more equitable and on a level playing field, I think we have come out with a global kind of a regulations at the global level. Even in India, I think 2016 they have evolved this own policy, and it is because of the Apex Court judgment. My own student, I must tell you, I had the privilege of one of my students who became, I think he was topped, he was ranked as number 20 among the IPR experts in the world. But unfortunately, he passed away of an accident recently, about a couple of months ago. Of course, on a personal note, my own son is a patent attorney who worked in US and has now come back, and he has his own practice here. My own second son also is into design. He is part of a very big startup in UK. He is a user experience designer. Both my sons are in the same field. But so I think what we require today is a legal protection of law, which actually protects these creations, which encourages the commitment of additional resources for further innovation. So promotion and protection of IPs spurs economic growth, creates new jobs, industries, enhance the quality of life, enjoyment of life. And therefore, what we require is we need to promote. There are a number of issues. We need to spread awareness about this IPR. What is a patent? How does an average person benefit out of this? Why patents are necessary? What kind of protection do patents offer? What rights do patents owners have? What role do patents play in the day-to-day life of what kind of inventions can be protected? Who grants patents? What is a trademark? What trademarks do? How trademarks are regulated? What kind of trademarks can be protected? So it plays a number of, I think we need to spread awareness among our students, of our faculty, our researchers, staff. And I think starting an IPR cell in every college plays a very important role in providing competitive edge to any institution. I think KCT is committed to encourage and protect and manage, commercialize the patent, the patent and the copyright, trademark, etc., that are generated in a particular college. And I think a cell can create and creates a conducive environment in academics for development of IP among the faculty, as I said, students, staff, and they can actively participate in IPR activities, particularly how to file IPR applications and so on and so forth. Now, this can be an incentive. This has both, of course, as I said, once upon a time, this was all about the public good. Whatever a human being invented, I don't think anybody invested their own energy, talents, and knowledge for own sake, but it was for humanity. But things are changing today. This has to be both for personal good as well as public good. Personal good because when somebody invests his own time and energy, it requires incentivization. It requires encouragement, both also in terms of commercial benefit out of it, because there are a number of organizations and governments which have to invest lots of money and their time. So I think it's a very, very important. I must congratulate the Seshadripuram College for, I think it's one of the very few colleges which is starting IPR cell. I hope other colleges, affiliate colleges will also follow the footsteps of Seshadripuram College. And I'm sure we have the best of people as resource persons here who will talk about various issues of IPR. And I'm sure the people who have been participating in this faculty development program will immensely benefit. And I'm sure, we as a country will have to really take the lead because we have the best of people. We have created, we have invented, we have created new knowledge, but because of lack of awareness on IPR issues, probably we have not been able to patent. And like any other property right, IPR also is, a right that all of us should own, enjoy, and it should be for both the personal good and for the good of the society in general. So it's once again, I should thank Seshadripuram College and Dr. Uday Krishna, Shantanu, and all others for inviting me to be part of this inaugural program. Wish you all the very best, and I'm sure I would have a chance to look at the proceedings of this faculty faculty development program. And once again, let me congratulate Dr. Uday Krishna and all of you for being one of the premier institutions. I'm always proud to have Seshadripuram Trust, institutions of Seshadripuram Educational Trust as part of Bengaluru Central University. From now, recently, Government of Karnataka has renamed Bengaluru Central University as Bengaluru City University, because this is the only university in the entire country which is purely, exclusively an urban-based university, both in terms of its location as well as its jurisdiction. And it is going to become a part of the network about 20-25 city universities across the globe. And Government of Karnataka is planning to make this as a model university. With these few words, let me thank all of you once again. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words and inaugurating the virtual IP cell of Kscsd Seshadripuram Group of Institution on 3rd of August 2020, Monday. I thank you wholeheartedly for taking out your precious time in spite of your busy schedule to inaugurate this event. And as usual, as you have told, you are there always for the Seshadripuram Group of Institutions. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I humbly thank you for your kind acceptance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, going on to the next speaker, before that, I'd like to tell that this IP cell has got 9 institutions under Seshadripuram Group of Institution. And this 9 institutions are, the participating institutions are Seshadripuram College, Nagappa Street, Bengaluru, headed by Principal Dr. Meera HN, Seshadripuram Institute of Commerce Management, Girls School Street, Bengaluru, Ms. Vidya S. Shivanavar, Professor N.S. Satish, Seshadripuram Evening Degree College, Bengaluru, Mr. Jairam, Seshadripuram Academy of Business Studies, Kingeri, Professor C. Sumati, Professor Seshadripuram Commerce College, Magdi Road. Ms. Soumya Erappa K, Seshadripuram Degree College, Mysuru. Dr. Pranita B.S., Seshadripuram Law College, Seshadripuram. Mr. Jagdisha G.T., Seshadripuram Degree College, Tumkuru. And Dr. S.N. Venkatesh, our beloved principal from Seshadripuram First Grade College, where this IP cell is going to get established with for the Seshadripuram group of institutions in association with Karnataka Science Council and Technology, Kscsd. So with this participating institutions and the nodal point at Seshadripuram First Grade College, now I'd like to request our honorary trustee, Seshadripuram Educational Trust, IQSC Management Representative, Shri W.D. Ashok sir, who is so humble and so kind that at any point of time, 24/7, you can reach him to get his immense critics, appreciation, then meticulous work to improve. That's how reason why he is the IQSC management head for entire Seshadripuram group of institution. I really appreciate our Dr. Uday sir, W.D. Ashok sir, to be the IQSC head and giving us the critical inputs to improvise and every day create our own benchmark. I wholeheartedly welcome W.D. Ashok sir and request him to give the keynote address.
Shantanu, I have to leave. I have to inaugurate another virtual meeting. Kindly excuse me.
Sure, sure, sir.
Okay, sir,
Okay,
I just
okay.
request 1 minute. Our principal sir will just speak a few words.
Sir, it is a great pleasure for us, sir. You are being part of this event. I'm thankful to you, sir. And I'm
Thank
very
you,
thankful
thank
to
you.
for inaugurating this IP cell, intellectual property cell. It is one of the unique cell. We are collaborating with the government of Karnataka. We want to do so many things and we require your support, sir. So thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All the very best. I have to inaugurate another virtual workshop virtually. Kindly excuse me, please.
Okay.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you. Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Sir, our honorable trustee, Dr. Shri W.D. Ashok sir, IQSC management representative, we request for your keynote address, sir.
Good morning. Audible, Santanu?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. From the inauguration today by Uday P. Krishna sir, secretary, and also S. Jaffet sir, vice chancellor. It's a very important step in the Seshadripuram Education Trust, which has been taken up in association with North Bangalore Science Forum, in association with Kscsd. So this inauguration of the intellectual property cell, which is from the Seshadripuram group of institutions, the SCT is committed to encourage, protect, manage the intellectual property as patent, copyright, trademark, etc. generated through the institute. The basic step which has to be done, it will be committed from every point of view. I have to welcome everyone from my side who are participating in today's program. And at the same time, I'm very much honored for the people, distinguished guests who are there today with us. At the same time, the saying that first of all, the whatever the cell has been created is from the authorization of the government. So the first of all, patent itself says that the government authority or the license confirming authority gives a right title for a set of period, especially the sole right to exclude others for making, using, or selling an invention. So keeping in mind the part of the invention itself, once you start inventing, then the inventions or whatever the inventions are being created, you will have to safeguard it, because as just now Jaffet sir has said that whatever has been created will be for personal as well as for the whole of the world. That's what he was just mentioning it. So from inventions, we can be from different subjects also. Inventions occurs from different subjects aspects. It can be either electrical, chemical, etc., or different subject as such. It can come over of any point of view. Examples of innovations can be protected from this cell, and students who are participating, I just want to say on behalf of the students, the faculty and other new faculties who are there, that the patents are usually adopted or given in the three directions. That is from the utility point of view, and the second one from the design point of view, and the nature plant point of view. The three categorization is done in the patenting. And so with some basic information what I have got through India, the patent grant is up by 12% during the April and December 2019 strategy which is given. So there is a 12% rise in the faculty, the importance of patency that is being applied also. So improvements are going to happen. At the same time, due to this COVID situation, maybe a little bit of slowdown is there this year, but naturally it will pick up in the coming days. The patents are crucial for India to bridge the technical gap with the Western world or the leading world makers. And from our point of view, Bangalore-based infotech firms among top filers for the patents, and from the Bangalore, what the strategy is located, we have our technical companies. That is, for example, Infosys has applied for 83 patents. Samsung India has applied for 66 patents. Wipro has applied for 59 patents. So you can just see the improvements. And from the scientific institutes, what I can just say, our Siddhaganga Institute of Technology, that is in Tumkur, it has applied for 24 patents. So you can just say institute is also making a very good approach for the patent filling. And at the same time, our Indian Institute of Science has applied for 32 patents. From the Seshadripuram Institute, we have our research center. We have our incubation center at Seshadripuram First Grade College. We have a very good infrastructure. It has been given. Library is there. And we have our own journal, which has come up from the Journal of Social Science, which has very good
request the esteemed delegates and yeah, Ashok sir is back. So there was a technical issue.
Hello, excuse me. Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry, there was a breakup, and I just want to come to the finishing aspect. That is, I would like to thank the principal Venkatesh sir, Santanu Das, and also I would like to thank the project associate Nagarjun MG, who will be facilitating throughout the program. I would like all the principals, conveyor, and coordinators of SCT degree colleges who are also part of this cell. Thank you, one and all. Over to Santanu Das.
Thank you, sir. So we really thank you for your kind words and support. So as our president, Shri N.R. Panditara, sir, who is the president Seshadripuram Educational Trust, he couldn't be present here, but he has shared his message. So I'll just play the message because he is the driving force and he is like a godfather to all our Seshadripuram group of institutions to support, bless, guide, encourage. Thank you, sir. We wholeheartedly thank our President, Sri N.R. Panditaradya, sir, for his kind words and blessings. Now, I would like to request the Mr. H. Hemant Kumar, Executive Secretary, Kscsd, for his keynote as well as the brief talk, and so that after the 5 minutes of his talk during the inaugural session, he will be addressing us with opening remarks on IPR and Kscsd initiatives. So as I have told that Mr. H. Hemant Kumar, who is currently investigating the Karnataka Natural Data Management System, NRDMS program, State Spatial Data Infrastructure Project, and VIS program, besides few other projects, he has so far investigated more than 25 projects. Hemant Kumar has written many research papers on natural resource management, non-organic solid waste, web Jio Portal, and use of GIS and RS for informed decision making. He has published more than 25 journal conference papers and has delivered several keynote and technical talks in national and international conferences. He is a member of a number of expert technical committees, including the Committee of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, National Biodiversity Authority, Department of Biotechnology, Kerala and Jammu, and Kerala, Odisha, Haryana Government Spatial Data Infrastructure, BBMP, BDA, Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, UAS, Bengaluru, Advanced Center for Integrated Water Resource Management, ACIWRM, ATRI, Karnataka Watershed Development Department, National Data Registry, BIS, etc. He also organized and coordinated several international and national workshops, even at Kscsd. So I request our esteemed speaker, Mr. H. Hemant Kumar, who is currently serving as Executive Secretary in Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology, to give the keynote talk. Over to Hemant Kumar, sir.
Yeah, it's a very good morning, and it's really a pleasure to have inaugurated this third virtual IP cell during this pandemic disease. I think there is not much to say about the institution, Seshadripuram College, because it is there much before independence. So it's 1930. So, institution-wise, there is nothing to beat them. But however, we'd like to say that since Dr. Santanu Das has informed us that all the associated colleges of Seshadripuram institutions will come under this IP cell, and we are going to have representatives from each of these associate institutions coming together to have an IP cell. IP cell is for what? I think since I'll spend about 5 minutes now, so later on then I'll go to the initiatives taken by Kscsd. This IP cell is meant to provide awareness and capacity building and training for students and faculty, specifically in the areas of patenting, VRR search, and idea design patenting, then trademarks, logos, GIs, and all that. But IPSL just for patenting. It also involves providing support to startups. You need to have some sort of incubation centers as well, and you need to engage the students who are interested in taking this up further as entrepreneurs. So this IPSL at some point of time has to play the role of providing support to entrepreneurs, startups, and incubations and financial support, all that. I mean, it will be a single point system wherein the students and the faculty approach the institutions for taking their idea. So obviously the commercialization. Basic idea of patenting itself is incentivizing your idea and your knowledge. That's what IPR is all about. And to say a few words about how are we faring in IPR compared to the world, I think we are doing reasonably well in the past decade. So far in this last year alone, we had this about 3 million patents so filed. India didn't lag behind. We had about 50,000 plus patents filed by Indian, including the Indian R&D institutions and the industry as well. But you should note certain points here. That is, Chinese alone filed about 1.5 million patents in the corresponding year. That means to say that we have still a lot to catch up. So this one area. That's why Government of India and the state government are aggressively pushing this idea of having an IP cell in each and every institutions, so that the research, the innovation that happens in the not just engineering colleges, degree colleges, law colleges, hotel management. It could be any college wherein the college shows interest in the domain of innovation. That's all it's required. So once it is done, I think college will have an additional responsibility of supporting this innovation for the students. And to start with, I think our IPSL is there in existence for more than a decade now. But so far, since our council, that is Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology, primarily supports engineering projects, that is final year engineering projects mandatory. So we supported from these engineering college, final year engineering projects since 77, out of which we get a lot of new ideas, which many of them have been commercialized so far. But now we have some sort of a renewed interest by the degree colleges. So we, the past about a year, we're getting requests from the degree colleges. It could be science college or commerce or hotel management or pharmaceutical. I think we pretty much like it because earlier it was predominantly engineering college alone. So we have much of a representation from other science streams. So this is a good initiative by the college management, and appreciate this proposal to have the IPSL in association with the Karnataka State Council. We appreciate the efforts of Dr. UDP Krishna, Honorary General Secretary of Seshadripuram Education Trust. And we have the eminent trustee, Ashok, and we have the president, Pandita Radhya. And we also listened to the advice of Professor Jaffet today. He's coming from National Law School, also gives an edge to us because we can use the services of National Law School at some point of time. Fortunately for us, the well-known IPR expert we have within National Law School, that is Professor Ram Krishna, is there as a faculty there. We have his blessings. He is our committee, expert committee. We have taken him as an advisor to the expert committee. And he's doing a lot many things at the National Law School. So I think we'll get into the details of IPR and the initiatives of Kscsd a little while from now, because I need to speak in that time. So I'll just cut short my speech here so that I can briefly explain to the activities of Ksd as well as the IPR in the next session, coming session. Now over to you, Professor Santanu Das. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. We'll be eagerly waiting to listen to you on overview of IPR after this formal inaugural session. So now I'd like to request our beloved principal, Dr. S.N. Venkatesh, who is in fact the pivotal role he plays, soft, humble, down to earth, and encourages for all kind of, now he is from commerce background, he tries to understand, he understands science from his heart and encourages for going ahead with all those activities and program for North Bangalore Science Forum. And he was the key to promote and initiate this activity. And I really thankful to him that under his leadership, we are seeing this dawn of light, a small beginning for Seshadripuram group of institution and Kscsd, the IP cell. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So now I request our principal, sir, to render the vote of thanks.
It's a great privilege for the entire group of Seshadripuram Education Trust to have an IP cell, and it is a milestone in the history of Seshadripuram Education Trust. On the upset, I thank Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology. They immensely support us in establishing this IP cell. It is a great pleasure for me to render the vote of thanks Shri H. Hemant Kumar, Executive Secretary of Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology. And I'm thankful you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your immense speech. And I think we expect a lot from you during the FPP program. And I'm also thankful to Dr. A.M. Ramesh, CEO of Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology. I'm thankful to Ayyappan, Chairman of KSTA. And it is my pleasure. Without the management support, it is not possible for us to do all these activities. It is a backbone of our every activities is our management. And today, for us, the management is with us. First, I am thankful to Shri Panditaradhya sir, who is a president of Seshadripuram Education Trust, who is also a governing council chairman of this Seshadripuram First Grade College. Thank you, sir, in your absence. And I am very much thankful to Dr. Udepi Krishna sir, who is an honorary general secretary of Seshadripuram Education Trust, and who is always back support. And for this, establishing this cell is a main pillar is our honorary general secretary sir, Dr. Udepi Krishna sir. I personally thank sir on this occasion. It is my heartfelt thanks to Shri W.D. Ashok sir. Without his support, we cannot do anything. Always he support us in establishing this IP cell, and Ashok sir is always with us. And I wholeheartedly thanks Shri W.D. Ashok sir, trustee, as well as the management representative, IQACSL, Seshadripuram First Grade College, Yelahanka. And I also thankful to Meera, Dr. Meera Madam, Principal of Seshadripuram College, Srimati Professor Vidya Shivandanavar, Seshadripuram Institute of Management Studies Principal, and Principal of the Seshadripuram College of Mysore, Shri Soumya Madam, and Principal of Seshadripuram Evening College, Shri Satish sir, Principal of Seshadripuram College of Kengeri, Shri Jairam sir, Principal of Seshadripuram College of Tumkur, Shri Jagdish sir, and Principal of Seshadripuram College, Magdi Road, Shri Professor Sumati Madam, and all of you are present on this occasion. I also thankful to all IQAC coordinator who are participated in this, and I also thankful to all participating teacher who participated on this occasion. It is, and also I thankful to Dr. Pranita B.S., Principal of Seshadripuram Law College, and I'm thankful to all the members who are present here. Thank you, one and all. And last, my personal thankful to Shri Shantanu Das sir, because he is a main pillar in establishing this, and I am personally thankful to Shantanu Das, and thanks to Salma Madam, thanks to Manjunath sir, because all are cooperated and make this cell one of the great cell in the Seshadripuram group of institution. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, we are blessed and privileged to work under your great leadership, and you are such a humble and down-to-earth person. We feel to come out of our cocoons and to deliver more and more for Seshadripuram group of institution. Thank you, sir. So now I request our esteemed speaker and executive secretary, Mr. H. Hemant Kumar, sir, to give the opening remarks on IPR and Kscsd initiatives under whose leadership we could get established that Kscsd, Seshadripuram group of institution, IP cell established at our institution for Seshadripuram group of institution at Seshadripuram First Grade College. So over to Hemant, sir.
Dr. Santanu, I think if I have to share the screen, you need to enable it.
Just a second, sir.
Yeah, that's right.
Done, sir.
Done, is it? Okay. So, is the one right? No, geotag. Yeah. I think I'll begin my presentation. I think thanks, Dr. Das. I think it's your initiative to have this today. Probably without your initiative, when you're coordinating from both from Kscsd and from your institution, it's really wonderful. And once again, thank you for having this IP cell in your institution. Hope to see your institutions becomes the top leading institutions in terms of IPL filing, at least in the coming year. That's our aspiration from you, because some of the colleges, some of the institutions in Bangalore, they have more than 50 years. Some of them are nearly 70 years old, like MES Institution, National College, and Seshadripuram, and Kelly College, and all that. So recently we had this cell in Kelly Institute, it's in Rajendra second stage. Hopefully that we'll try to involve all the degree colleges, science, and hotel management or law, whatever it is, so that will bring them under the umbrella of IPR. That's our main thing. We would like to expand our activities of IPR, not just to engineering and pharmaceutical colleges. It should extend beyond that. That's our thing. But we also expect full support from our institutions in leveraging IPR to the benefits of the students and faculty. Coming back to what we do in the council, I think, as you know, that council is housed in Indian Institute of Science. It's one of the premier institutes for research and development in India. I think we have all domains except law and medicine and agriculture. Rest of them we have science and engineering we have. So the purpose, in those days, Professor Satish Dhawan, then the director of IIC, and later he also becomes the ISRO chairman, and Professor A.K. Reddy, they were instrumental in establishing this council. The whole idea of establishing the council is to take the R&D work that happens in the Indian Institute of Science to the people of the state through the state government. Apart from that, there are many R&D institutions which just remarkably well in developing the technologies, but somehow, because of lack of coordination between the state and the R&D institutions, some of them doesn't see the light of the day. And even if you wanted to take it to the people through the commercialization process, you need a lot of fine tuning of these technologies so that it becomes like a product and people can accept those things. So we are working not just with the Indian Institute of Science, even though it's our major focus and major driving center. We work with other R&D institutions, and we have tied up with the agricultural universities, and we have also tied up with the Institute of Management, IIIT, Indian Law School, ISAC, and our own sister concern, KSCA, and all the engineering colleges that comes under BTU, because we have 200 plus engineering colleges, and this year we received close to 160 colleges actually submitted proposals to us under the student project program. That means to say that we have a good coordination with the academic institutions in the state, and we have very many in-house projects which I would like to brief you over a period of time now. Then what we do in Kscsd is we facilitate research and development. We also do the field testing, and in some cases we also do the large scale dissemination. And while we do this, how do you do this? You can't do this by just by R&D and dissemination. We need to bring in a lot of awareness, capacity building, and training to the stakeholders involved in this technology dissemination. And we work in many ways. We get funding support from both Government of India and Government of Karnataka, and we submit proposals to them, and we get projects. And if you find that any of the projects are good, we also goes for large scale dissemination by hiring our own manpower, so that this implementation can be done at the district and the Gram Panchayat level. A few examples are in the initial stages, we had developed the energy efficient stoves. I think ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಒಲೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಾಗ ಒಲೆಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. So wood burning stoves, what we used to do in those times, I mean in the 80s and 90s, the efficiency of the wood burning stoves was less, and wood was not easily available. Second thing is, there used to be a lot of smoke in the kitchen. So there were the two issues. One is, how do you cut down the usage of wood by improving the efficiency of the stove? The second thing is the health of the people who cook in the kitchen. So these are the two things. How do you need to reduce smoke, and you need to improve the efficiency. And fortunately, even though it looks simple, and our institute faculty, especially from chemical engineering, they took a lot of interest under the guidance and advice of Professor Kumar, Professor Lokras, and Professor Gandhi. So they actually made it possible that we had a stove called Astra stove. Astra means we have a cell here that's now called Center for Sustainable Technologies. Earlier it used to be called as Application of Science and Technology for Rural Areas. We had a small extension center near Kunigal, that's about 80 acres. And in that place, we used to test the technologies by the nearby villages, like we do the clinical and animal trials in the pharmaceutical industries. We used to do the trials in the nearby villages, and once we actually address all the issues of the technology, then we used to go for large scale dissemination. That we did for biogas plants, we did for wood gas fires, we did for community biogas plants, we also did for housing, we also did for energy efficient stuff. So this was, this center was meant to develop technologies and do the field testing, and once you come out with the answers to all the issues that the technology has, then it will go for a large scale dissemination. So that is one thing, and we built about 2 million stoves. We also hired engineers and deputed them to all the districts. We have 30 districts. In those days, there are 15 districts, and we deputed, and we were able to build stoves all over Karnataka at that point of time. And right now, we have one program called Natural Resource Data Management System, wherein we use extensively GIS and remote sensing for better governance and also for informed decision making. That means if you want to take any decision, you should have all the data in your hand, so that the decision at the end of the day that you give will have the support of technology, will have support of data. It is not just my opinion. So science is all about data documentation. It doesn't go by individual opinion. So we need, so that way, GIS and remote sensing, it provided a tool for us to show to the district line departments. I'll tell you the line departments means these are all developmental departments working in a district. Bangalore is also a district. It's called urban district. We have some 40, close to 30 plus departments we have. I think you must have heard most of them: agriculture, horticulture, PWD, communication, veterinary, and so on and so forth. So all these departments, they do a lot of developmental activities. So if you are not documenting them, or if you're not storing that activity in a sort of a geotagging form, you'll not be able to actually visualize the next year plan. That's why to do that, we have a district center in every district NRDB center in all the Jilla Panchayats of the state. These are some of our recent programs which I would like to exchange with you. One of them is geospatial technology. That's what we call it as a natural resource data management system. We were able to do geospatial planning in 2019-20. That means we have 2 lakh plus crores as a budget of the state, out of which about 30-40% goes for developmental activities, which is being mapped using these technologies. And ours is the first state to use geospatial technology for action plan preparation. Action plan preparation in the sense, if I do any activity, it should have a latitude, longitude attached to that. If you are building a road, you should actually have the building, the length of the road mapped, and the kind of work, who does the contract, what is the cost, things like that will be attached to that. And it will also be seen by all the people. So similar to that, if you build a school, if you build a toilet, if you build a borewell, you do anything, it has to be geotagged and it has to be stored in the central repository, and also what we call it as Karnataka GIS. It will be stored in the servers, and anyone can actually see what's the activities of that particular department in any year. So that's one of the things that we do. And apart from that, since now the age is digital learning, so now all the departments are going in for providing services online. So to make that happen, we have this GIS and remote sensing on a portal called Karnataka Jio Portal. That is our portal, and we also have a KGS portal done by our sister concern, that is Karnataka State Remote Sensing Technology Utilization Center. So we have many institutions working on this, and now all of the data that's available online, and you can also query online, and also you can get the results what you want. And we have the digital heritage program under the geospatial technologies also. Digital heritage is the one where we map the state and central archaeological sites using 3D laser technologies. 3D laser technology is employed so that once you capture the data in a very, very high resolution, it can be used for restoration and repair of this building, restoration, rejuvenation, and repair of the building. And apart from that, we can also have a virtual walkthrough of all these sites. The Central Archaeological Department, which we did, was Hampi. Hampi is a UNESCO site, which we completed, and it's available. Now people are developing virtual walkthrough using the data that we have. And the other thing is we're working on water. Water means there are many things that we can think of water-based technologies. Few of them I'll just try to explain here. One of them is roof water harvesting, and you can also call as rainwater harvesting. See, Bangalore gets water from 140 kilometers from KRS Dam, and it has to be pumped to the next set of 100 meters. And the day by day dependence on KRS is increasing because our population is going up, and we need to provide water supply to all these citizens of Bangalore. This is over a period of time gets bigger and difficult. So what we planned about 2 decades back, how can we consume water that is on the roof of each and every houses, and could be collected in a underground sump, so that the same water could be used for drinking. So we started somewhere in 2000 plus 2000 onwards. Then in 2005, my colleagues had a patent in this. That is, for rainwater harvesting, we use a equipment called pop-up filter, which was designed and developed by Kscsd. So the technology was ready. So what next now? So the question came up. We have the idea is from the council, then the patent we have. Then see, unless you have a set of guidelines and the technology is quite useful, people may or may not use it. So we also brought a policy for rainwater harvesting in the state in 2009 that made it mandatory for all the households in Bangalore to have the RWH implemented if the sital dimensions are more than 40/60. And for the new houses, they have to do it even for the lesser area. So this one thing, so you can see that no, you have an idea, then you have some patenting, you have a protection of for your idea. Then you also bring in policy. Then what next? So we conducted a number of programs for engineers, plumbers, architects on the implementation of rainwater harvesting systems. That went on. Now also we are doing it. At least 3-4 programs each year we do it. We'll have some 80 to 100. And the government of Karnataka through Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board made it mandatory for all the plumbers to get licensing only if they participate in the rainwater harvesting training program conducted by the Kscsd. This made every plumber go through our training, and we have a list of people, plumbers in all wards who is taking up this work now. So this is that means you're not just looking at technology, you're also providing solutions, whom to approach, because we have close to 16 lakh plus houses. I think I'm not absolute number, I'm not sure, but you have more than 16 lakhs. So that means to say that we need people to do that. We need experts, we need trained people to do that. That's why we are training engineers, architects, and we conduct lot many awareness programs also. So that way the policy and everything is getting in place. And now we're in the forces, we're in the place of enforcement. We're also enforcing it by way of issuing notices to people who don't take up this seriously. We have recently issued notices to 70,000 properties for non-compliance, and roughly BWS informs us somewhere around 3 crores has been collected as a penalty for non-compliance. So now I think people in Bangalore, especially, they're realizing the importance of this roof water harvesting, because it cuts down their water bill. And also in Bangalore, I think the rain can provide you sustenance for 6 to 9 months, except in the months of summer. I think up to December, you can sustain with the rainwater alone, and you become self-sufficient, and dependency on pumped water from KRS also reduces. Apart from that, apart from the central business district, the peripheral area of Bangalore, not all of the areas are connected with Kaveri water. And for them, it's a boon that they voluntarily do it. For them, we don't need a law, because they are very much, because as you understand that the water quality in and around Bangalore is not that good. Because of that, you need a clean drinking water. So rainwater is probably the cleanest drinking water that is possible. Doesn't require much cleaning. So that's how this RWH is taking ahead. Apart from that, we work with the state government and watershed development department. We also work for water body restoration. Water body restoration means, I think after 70s, 80s, we started digging more bore wells. So once you have more bore wells, we started looking after the surface water bodies, because of which most of our surface water bodies regarding, it could be irrigation tanks, or it could be kalyanis or ponds. All of them are actually dwindling day by day. So the issue is that how do you restore them? So we did this work from 2015 onwards. In a 4 years time, we mapped all the surface bodies and prepare a report to the government about the status of the surface water bodies and how do you restore them and rejuvenate them. That's one of the big tasks, and we also gave a report. You know what happened in that? It's very, very important here for me to say that, because we had this Jal Nirmal program under which the government took this work. I mean, they took three important works at a Gram Panchayat level. One of it is restoration of surface water bodies, other is rainwater harvesting in the at least important buildings within the Gram Panchayat, and also planting of trees. These three things we are working on for almost 2 decades. We're proud that council contributed much towards the growth and idea and innovation to the state's issues. Then apart from that, the next thing is education. Education, I just repeat what I said in my address before. We had this student project program, which is meant specifically to support the engineering students' projects in the final year. Since it's mandatory, they approach us. So this is there from 1977. That's the 43rd year now. We have so far supported close to 11,000 projects, and more than 150, 200 projects have already been commercialized. But in the earlier days, we never had the idea of patenting. So mostly, students used to develop, and some of them used to become entrepreneurs themselves. And also some students in the colleges have given this technology free of cost to entrepreneurs and small scale industries and MSMEs. This is what happened. And now from the past few years, we are telling the students that you should do a good amount of prior research. That means to say that if you write a project proposal, two things we do. One is literature review. So when I submit a proposal, through the literature, I know these are the things that has happened before, and these are the things which I need to look into specifically, because I don't want to do the same thing which is done by the others, because it will be a simply kind of a redoing the whole thing. So there's no point. There's no innovation in that. But in the literature, there is certain amount of uncertainty, because it will not physically possible to check everything that's been done by others. So we have extended that to the prior art search. That means you're searching for patents which have done similar kind of work throughout the world. What it does is, your idea, you have some idea, and if you know that certain people have already got this patent done already, then I need to fine tune or slightly change or do something different so that my idea also get patented. So this is very much important. So prior art search is getting done through our council. So we are telling the engineering students to do a thorough prior art search so that they will be knowing what sort of innovation they are getting into. Otherwise, they're simply doing the whole thing again and again, which might not be of any use either to the institution or to the individual. So this prior art search is taking place. Our council can help if people are interested. And in fact, I think last week we conducted a program for hotel management in Udupi colleges. They have a lot of new ideas. The hotel management schools, they felt that their IPSL is now looking into the ideas of the chef and the students working there, and they're asking us to do some sort of a process patenting or trademark or logo, or they're coming with the new ideas, and it's wonderful. I think it's similar to that. If your IPR cell, through your faculty and students, will have some ideas, and if it's properly done, prior research, the council can help you doing that, and you can take it further. Not just listening to us and awareness. We don't believe in just creating awareness and capacity building. We want people to actually take it to the end result. That is, you absolutely have a patenting, and if possible, most likely if possible, we want that to be commercialized. We want it to see it as a product, not just for the sake of filing patent. First interest is do a perfect prior art search, then get into filing. If the patents gets approved, and if somebody is interested, it has to have a commercial product. To this extent, we would expect all the institutions who are working with us in the IPR like to connect to the industries also. So industries means they could connect to the startups or big industries or medium scale industries. So that when you connect to the industries, advantage is that you know what is lacking in the industry and what you should do about it. Industry could be many things. Industry means just not manufacturing. It should be service. It can be service. It can be IT. It can be legal firms. It can be anything to that extent. So only thing is you need to have a good association with other industries and associations and groups so that you find out what is missing in that and you try to address towards that. So that way, your innovation or ideas are very much well received by the society and the people. Otherwise, if I have a lot of ideas and if the ideas at that point of time the industry or the ecosystem doesn't take it, so there is no point in doing it. So we need to have a good quality association with many of the industries, farms, and all that. I think it's Seshadripuram College should not have a problem because they have the almost 90 years of existence. It should be easy for them because the former students of the college must have been reached very many high places and they can contribute, come back and contribute as well in terms of providing support to ingenuity and innovation of the students. That could be the one of the things. And we do now digital learning is one of the in thing, e-learning. Because of the pandemic, I think all of you know that all the institutions are conducting virtual classroom, that is e-learning center, starting from first standard to engineering students. But there were some debates about it, how it's beneficial and all that. But certainly you can't take that away at this point of time. And apart from that, I just like to mention a few things here. We started this e-learning center not because of the pandemic. It was started in 2016 because we have close to 70,000 plus schools in Karnataka, including all private government schools. So they are in remote places. How do you reach them? How do you give them a quality education? So to that extent, we actually had this virtual classroom. We have a studio here. We call people, very reputed teachers, so that they teach here and that gets relayed. It could be video streamed or it could be stored like we are storing the today's thing in YouTube, and it could be stored and shared. Both the things are possible. So it was started in 2016 only. But fortunately for us, because our idea was to reach all the remote places with a good quality education and a good content for the subjects. It could be physics, chemistry. Right now we're working on SLC and PUC students, basically science students, PCMB. About 3 days back, last week you completed this e-learning. We did a crash course for second PUC students for taking CET. CET is also over now. So we did about 160 sessions using I think we involved many teachers from MES, and I think few of them must be Seshadripuram also as well. I don't remember them, but it's there. So that's e-learning is one of the important things. I think your college must be doing the same because mathematics, some of it may be difficult, but over a period of time, we'll find a way to work around it. And then we also conduct a lot of outreach programs. And we also honor exceptional scientists and technologists. It's called State Awards of Karnataka State Government. This is done under the chairmanship of Bharat Ratna Professor C.N. Rao. So it is since 1996 we are doing this. And every year we give about 13 to 14 awards. Those who have done excellent work in science and technology. Apart from that, I think patent information cell, anyway, I'll go to speak at the end, and my colleague, Mr. Vivek, and Mr. Nagarjun is also going to speak about that. Then we have this another few programs on the environment. We did something about people's biodiversity. I think some of them are speaking. Can they ask them to switch off their mic, please? Can Mr. Registry can switch off the mic, please? Okay. So then we have these alternate building technologies. Dr. Santanu, can you ask them to switch off the mic? It becomes. Can I go ahead now? Okay. Nagarji Nidirali.
Sir, yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Kelsuda?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Okay. Okay. See, next thing is we have this alternate building technologies. That is, we're working on energy efficient building technologies, which is also called green building technologies, right? It's there from almost 4 decades now. The technology is very much matured now. We have alternates for walling and roofing elements. We have a number of designs for roofs. We also a number of designs for walls also. We have different varieties for doing that. And so far in Bangalore alone, we have constructed more than 20,000 houses. And to an extent of 1 lakh houses in the country. One good thing, one interesting thing here is all these houses are independent houses. That means to say that it is not a government program wherein build a large number of houses through a program. It is not like that. All the 20,000 houses are built by individuals. That means to say that 20,000 individuals in Bangalore have accepted and adopted the technology, which is which we feel very proud of it, because it's very difficult to because you are investing a lot of money, because each house costs you about not less than about 60 to 70 lakhs to a crore. So when you are investing that kind of a money, so the technology, you should have the trust in the technology, because these are all alternatives, new ones. So people generally, when we are investing a lot of money, they take a little bit more time because they need to get convinced, and not just you, your family has to get convinced. And to that extent, I think this technology is reached all parts of Bangalore, and we do conduct a lot of trainings there. And we have one more center of Indian Institute of Science in Chellakere. We also provide on-site training. I mean, that is their in-house training for about 40 people. We are putting up a national skill building center there. And we hope that once the pandemic is slightly lessens, we're going to start the skill building programs. It could be at all levels. It could be for everyone on all these technologies, not the just technology which is listed here. We have a program called Skill India by the Government of India, which you would like to make use of and provide all kinds of training so that the students are employable, not just they study, but they can make a difference when they join a job. The interesting part of skill building is to make each and everyone employable in the industry. That's the main thing. Apart from that, we have the program called Energy. In energy, we do many things. Earlier, we used to do work on solar and wind energy. Later on, that solar and wind energy program was actually we gave it to the government, and now it's working as Karnataka Renewable Energy Development Corporation Limited. So they take care of the. I think you must have seen many such examples, especially for solar. Chitradurga and Gadag and Bidar and all that. They have come up with a huge solar farms now. It's connected to the grid, and slowly our dependence on hydropower is reducing. And you can also see many such examples in near Bellary, near Chitradurga, and some places in wind also. So we have slowly replacing the power generated by the hydro through wind and solar. I think one of the biggest example is that Pavagada, that's in Tumkur district. We had one of the biggest solar farms, which is providing grid power. So apart from that, we are working on bioenergy. That is blending of petrol and diesel. So this is happening. So blending of diesel happens by way of using non-edible oil seeds to blend with biodiesel, and we also use ethanol for blending petrol. So this way we can cut down the import import expenditure that comes in the government. So now the blending has started and we are at the stage of 2 to 3% now. But the government of India, through the new bioenergy policy, it expects to reach around 20% by 2030. So all the councils and all the departments dealing with bioenergy, that is in our state, we have the Karnataka Bioenergy Development Board, which we have associated with. We hope to see that these boards and council, with the support of sugar industry, will make a difference to the efforts of government of India and the state government. That means to say that from 2% we need to go to 20% mark. That is blending. We should have excess ethanol 20%, because the requirement of petrol and diesel is humongous in the state, not just in the state, in the India. So unless we find alternate fuels, alternate sources, it's difficult to sustain over a long period of time. And I'll just show you a few more slides about what is that we did. I mean, how do you make use of these technologies during this pandemic? So I told you in the beginning that this GIS remote sensing is used extensively for creating geospatial action plan. That means each and every plan should have a geospatial map and data associated with, otherwise it won't get approved and the funds won't get released. And last year we conducted close to 250 programs at district and taluka level. More than 10,000 officers participated. The interesting thing here is Karnataka is government, and the Karnataka people are always proactive in terms of technology. Because you name any town or any state, it is there Karnataka first. In terms of IT, it is there. In terms of science, it is the first, it's leading. The biotechnology, it's leading. IPR also we should lead. I think because we have very many IT companies here, why not in IPR? So Bangalore and Karnataka should also be the leading IPR city and also IPR state in the country. That's our belief, and that's towards that we are working, myself and my colleagues. That's our, and you should see that technology has been made mandatory by the planning department. That means to say that geospatial technology is not just for looking at it or visualizing it. We need to have this planning integrated. That means it's getting mandated by law. So that we are doing now. During this pandemic, we created, I think every day we are generating many such maps, because the situation is pandemic. It changed extensively from April to August now. We are in the first week of August. I think you must be reading in papers. Every day the dimensions different. It was much easier in April, May, because the number of cases were less, even up to June. Now the July is improved, very increased to the very high extent. So we need to work on many things, not just COVID alone. We need to work on how many cold storage we have and how do you store the horticulture products. It could be anything. It could be what is the growth of onion, potato, tomato, month-wise, district-wise, taluka-wise listed here. And do you have enough cold storages to store them? So these are all listed here and it gets moved accordingly. I think we have a huge volume of data in the government. And you can do any sort of analysis, and just not an analysis, it goes for planning on a day-to-day basis. And in Bangalore also, you can see the number of your clinics, where it is located, what kind of number of beds available, treated, active cases, positive cases, deaths, and all that listed here. And it is there ward-wise, assembly constituency-wise, and also zone-wise. So you can see all symptomatic cases and the present cases on a day-to-day basis we are doing. So we can see that which ward is high, which ward is low. In terms of, we can do two things here. One is the number based on the number of cases, based on the percentage of the population. You can do many things like that. So we do that, and wherever we feel dark red, we put more manpower there. Especially now the government is also taking up a lot many degree and degree college students and other things for testing, for doing primary survey and all that. Many of them registered also. And you can see that cereals, pulses, soil seeds. So all of it is mapped and is given on a day-to-day, so that horticulture, agriculture is linked to cold storages, linked to transportation. All these things are very much required for planning. And we had this, especially in the month of April, May, we had the issue of migrant laborers. Migrant laborers, one, they wanted to leave and now they wanted to come back. And we have the list of migrant laborers coming from all over the country, from within the state as well. And their numbers in each and every district. So this way, we also have the KPME, that is Karnataka Private Medical Establishment, how many beds available in which place, all these things mapped using a geolocation, and district-wise abstract, and zone-wise slums, so that you will know that how many slums we have this ward and how many cases. This is just to give an idea of how this COVID can go up in the coming week. So we have this map. And the clinics, how many clinics available, all that things, drugstores, all of it is location specific. If you click that, you'll get the exact location. You can also use it using a Google app, right? Then private hospitals, zone-wise, ward-wise, rates available, things like that. Then we also have a few portals for this. Our own Kscsd, we have developed something called COVID-19 Jio Portal, wherein we provide this information like positive cases, hospital disease, discharge, and active cases. On a day-to-day basis, it will vary, and also we get to see age-wise number of positive cases. From here, you can see from this data, this is 26/7. Basically, you can take it on any day. You can see that 30 to 39 constitutes about 23% roughly. And yellow color is 20 to 29. It's not that only old people are getting corona, it's evenly distributed across age groups. And basically it's 20 to 40, they constitute roughly 23 plus 1, 25, 45% goes to 20 to 40. So if you look at greater than 70, not many of them are there. So it can attack anyone. The only advantage is when you're wearing, I think the body can fight. That's the advantage. But otherwise, the number of cases are very high in the age group of 20 to 40. And we also get these isolated persons. And this is our portal. You'll get to see, you can zoom in and see that. And you also get the infrastructure, things like that. And this is the state government portal, wherein on day-to-day basis is a very dynamic thing. So all the cases are uploaded every day. So you'll get to see day-to-day wise. If somebody is interested, I can see that ward-wise. All these things are available here in the portal. And this is the thing, you get a list of things. Okay, you can see it in a pie chart or a bar chart, and you can actually see through a OSM sheet. That is open series map also you can see. So we have the dashboard, which gives you the percentage of death, high risk death, active, high risk, test positivity. And I think everything is covered here. If somebody is interested, please go through this. Okay, there are many things, COVID source analysis. But in spite of all this data, there could be some inconvenience to the people because of many other things. Because one of the issues that we find is not many people come forward for treatment, treating patients. That's one of the issues, which is human in nature. That is nothing to do with the data we have. And there are some infrastructure problems, but those things are getting sorted out. Okay. And we have this Karnataka Jio Portal, which we looks into providing all this information that we have through online process. And another important thing, what we can see is the National Data Registry. What is a National Data Registry? It's like an RTO office. If you buy a two-wheeler, it will be registered based on your engine number and chassis number. And also it will be given a unique number, KA0 for something, they'll give you. That means to say that this engine chassis number has this vehicle ID. That means anybody who drives that vehicle, there is some problem, then he will be able to trace the owner. Similar to that, we are doing that National Data Registry for all the spatial data. That is all the maps. That is Nakshagalandre. ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಗಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಕೂಡ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆದರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್? ದಿ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ If someone wants to use it, it could be an academician or an industrialist or a politician or a decision maker or a bureaucrat, anyone for that matter. First of all, you need this accurate, relevant, recent data. Okay. I need the latest data. It needs to be accurate, otherwise I can't make a decision. That's how things work. I mean, the first thing for you to do anything is it's based on the recent accurate data. So for which it has to be registered. So now we made it mandatory. Anybody who published data has to register it. Only once it registers, it becomes, what do you say, just like a vehicle is allowed to run on the road, then that particular data is allowed to be used by others. That means you can make your data available to others through registration process only. Once registered, it's left to you whether you can give it free to people or else you can charge. That is left to you. So that is also done through this National Data Registry. And we have one more program called Village Information System, wherein we take we map all the villages, including the habitation. Habitations means including each and every house, and we link all the parameters, all the attributes of that per each and every houses, like do they have water, do they have power, do they have sanitation, do they have Aadhaar, phone, bank account, drinking water source, road type, status, then category of building, caste, occupation, annual income, so on and so forth. Why do we need all that? Because all our programs depends on this. Our program on surface transport, our program on Digital India program, our program on water source, transmission lines, telephone lines, rural electrification program, or Swachh Bharat program, or else Ujjwala Yojana, or household. I mean, all these things we need data at the habitation level, at the household level. That we created under the program called VIS. We brought a guidelines also to that. That guideline is or being used and it's going to be used in creating such databases in all the Gram Panchayats through Government of India and the state governments. And this is, we have one of the, I talked about rainwater harvesting. I just want to say a few things here. We have one of the rainwater harvesting theme park in Jayanagar, 4th block. Okay. There we have, you can see all our technologies. This particular photo you can see on the right side, which will, there if you go, our staff are also there available to you. You can get all the information. You can from the roof, the different kinds of rainwater harvesting ideas that we have, including it could be harvested through drains, harvested through footpath, harvested through roads. All these things have been shown there. And it takes an half a day's time to know about these things. And if possible, you can also start implementing in your own places. And some of the lists here. And we save roughly about 0.2 to 0.4 TMC of water by doing RWA system. That's one of the biggest advantage we have. And we are so far about trained about 2,200 engineers. So don't have to worry about implementation because you get people all over Bangalore, and reward wise also, if you go to our website, it's available there. Energy cell activities, I told you, we conducted a good number of programs on bioenergy. Probably if you are looking into something like bioenergy in your institution, if you have something like that, you can have a bioenergy cell also in your college. That's also possible if you have something like that. And some of the interesting SPP projects, student projects programs that we have. And these are all commercial projects which you are looking at it. And students did it at a very small cost. Now with a little bit innovation and a little bit better looking product, because we need to fine tune these products to make it acceptable or attractive to people. That's what we do. The original product looks like this. I mean, once you commercialize, then you build the attractiveness to that. So then you hire a design engineer to do the packaging component. Okay. Then every year we give awards to best colleges. So every year we give 50 college, around 50 best projects award we give. The advantage is that we once those students get the award, the project guide can write to us and get more funds. It is called faculty projects. So this year also we received some 30, 40 faculty projects. We're going to fund them. because faculty also, they have to continue doing research. And normally it's very difficult to get research funding. So Kscsd is taking it up. Research funding is also available. If you have any, if your project is approved by us and if it gets the best project, then we're looking into funding to the next level. Then we conduct many hands-on training to the students of high school and college students using the Indian Institute of Science PhD scholars. I think these courses are really wonderful. This Humpy program. And coming back to IPSL, earlier we had 15 IPSLs, now we have crossed beyond 30 now, 32. And what we do is this year alone, this slightly old slide, this year we did something close to 50 patents. Some 30 patents have filed by our IPSLs. 18 patents by BGSIT and about 12 by Gupta College of Engineering. And some 12 patents are filed directly by us, 3 by PFC. It's about 45 patents we filed, and we do a lot of work on trademark. My colleague is going to speak next, is going to speak about them. And now, I think this patenting has come a long way. We support inventors in patenting their invention. We do help them in conducting patent and prior art search on patent laws. We have a very good empaneled attorneys listed with us. I think they're going to be with you for another 3 days, starting from tomorrow. They are all very, very, very good in their subjects. I mean, they're excellent resource people we have. It's really it's really nice to listen to them, because you won't get an opportunity like this wherein you get about 10 experts speaking on all areas of the patenting. So this, and the government of India wants us to improve the patenting to the extent of at least 2025. Let's see how far it goes. Okay, then there are many things we do. I just would like to close it now in the last 2 slides I have. During the pandemic, I think there are many institutions took up a different way, but since now all our programs or all our trainings are through webinars only, web workshop or webinars, things like that. But we also, our staff are engaged with doing many other things like herbal hand sanitizers. They did all the sanitizers are made by our own staff, and we are using it on a day-to-day basis. Probably this is one of them which I'm using right now, sanitizer. It's done from tulsi, lemon, eucalyptus, and all that rose water. And we also have our own face masks that we did with the Garden City University in collaboration with them. We are also into making liquid soap. It's very good on the hands. Then we also have, my colleague has done some pedal operated sanitizer machine. We conducted a number of SS quiz. Then we have locust oxygen pump, and IPR we keep conducting. I think this is about 15th program after April, I believe. I think we conduct normally 1 day, 3 days, things like that. But normally if during any awareness program, it's for half a day. But once we have an IP cell, and for all the faculty, we conduct for 3 days and 5 days. And this is some of the things which we did. The course are completed. And since digital learning has been a part of our life in future, we are also bringing, we need collaborations now. Collaborations from colleges to identify technologies suitable, relevant, and can it generate employment? This is our post-COVID situation. We have some money. We'd like to collaborate with colleges, degree or engineering colleges, to take this forward. First of all, identify the technologies which are relevant and suitable at this point of time, because it has to be relevant to the particular area as well. And I think this is my last slide. I think as all of you know that COVID is not going to go anywhere. So social distancing and facial mask and sanitization, it's become the order of the day. In future, even though we start again the colleges, it would no longer a conventional kind of a thing. And because of this, we are having new problems and issues like technologies. When you connect from home, there is a possibility of cyber security problems. Security issues will come. So we need to address the new securities and privacy issues. See, in the initial stages, you must have seen in the paper also, Government of India barred using Zoom, because they say that because of the concern regarding privacy. But anyway, that's since the program that we are doing right now, it's not much of there's not much of privacy issue here. So this I believe it's okay. So will you probably probably in future, I think education will be online, and it could be, we could see very big data centers, and assessments will be online. I think you people should know that in TCS already conducting many online things. For example, NEET, CET, everything is online. Probably whether we like it or not, I think online evaluation will be normalized over a period of time, because it's already there in professional courses now. So I think it will be a thing. Then digital currencies, online commerce, and health. And in all that, we see a lot of scope for IPR. In health, in digital currency, online commerce, education. We have even, I think I just want to make one specific thing here. Even the existing laws may not be fit over a period of time, because we need to bring in new laws, because the new crimes will be different from the old crimes, because now internet and things like that are being used, and you see a different set of justice required. Existing rules and interactions, it will be totally different. So all these things are a new era science, or new era technology, or new dimension the way we live. And we need to, last thing is, we need to be ready for the change, and we need to get adapted for all these things. And at the end of the day, all these things we require IPR for all these things. Even for adaptation, even if you do something new or different, you need IPR along with it. So this IPR course should lead the way for your college and our institutions. I think that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri H. Hemant Kumar sir, Executive Secretary, Kscsd, for the opening remarks on IPR and Kscsd initiatives. And as per your guidelines and your directions and your wide talks on the initiatives, we assure you that as today we are seeing the light, it's just a beginning. We'll assure you that we are definitely under the North Bangalore Science Forum and our Kscsd Seshadripuram Group of Institution IP cell will strive for the best and will create the new benchmarks with your support and guidance. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And we really thank you, because you are the key person, because I still remember the discussions we had for a couple of hours, thinking of it will be 15 minutes, and it went for more than 1 or 2 hours. And really, your meticulous looking into the institution, how they can grow, they can shine, and all those. I really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for your kind words and your guidance and encouragement. Thank you, sir. So now I would like to request Mr. Vivek Anand Ji, the IP attorney and consultant, Kscsd, to give an overview of intellectual property rights. Before that, I'd like to tell you just a second. Who is Vivek Anand? Vivek Anand is an IP attorney consultant, Kscsd. Mr. Vivek Anand Sagar completed his Masters in Law, LLM in Business Law, Kuvempu University, Gyana Sahedri, Shimoga. Postgraduate Diploma in Human Resource Management, Kuvempu University, then MA, and is pursuing his PhD on enforcement of copyrights issues in film and recording industry. He is secured first rank in Master in Law and independently practicing as an advocate in Bangalore in the field of IPR and civil litigation. He is a guest faculty of many eminent law institutions and international consultant in Kunming International Center for Arbitration and Mediation. He is a consultant in Karnataka's State Council for Science and Technology, IISc, Bangalore, and had been as an honorary designated as research associated, Center for Intellectual Property Rights, Research and Advocacy, CIPRA, and Ministry of Industry and Commerce, Government of India on IPR. National Law School of India, University, Bangalore from August 2012 to March 2018. His papers and articles have been published in books and journals. He has been invited as resource person from various institutions and organizations and delivered guest lectures on subjects like intellectual property rights by Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Vivekanandji, it's indeed a privilege to invite you and to get associated with you to be a part of Kscsd, Seshadripuram group of institution, IPR cell establishment, and no other people we can think of for giving you this vibrant talk. The energy, the enthusiasm, the talk, really we are mesmerized by your aura and personality. Please, over to you, sir.
Yes, a very good morning to one and all present. It's been a great privilege and pleasure for me talking about intellectual property rights. At the outset, I would like to say that Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology has been extensively working on intellectual property rights. We have geared up in such a fashion that we would like to do a remarkable, a promotion, protection, and commercialization of intellectual property rights in the state of Karnataka. And we are already been doing that. We have been, our Executive Secretary, Honorable Hemant Kumar sir has already told you that what are the works which we have done so far at the Kscsd, what are the innovative things which we have done at Kscsd, and how we are facilitating various education institutions in the field of intellectual property rights in providing training, faculty development program, awareness program, or conducting IP clinics, conducting IP competitions, okay? Like it's all to encourage everyone to come ahead in innovating and creativity. Rather, I would like to, I would say that I'm wrong in making this particular statement. The reason is because already we people are doing innovative works. Already we are doing creative works. The only thing which we made a gap is with respect to its protection, because primarily the concept of intellectual property rights or the concept of knowledge per se, we thought, or it's in our culture, it is in our, culture, and it is in our behavior that knowledge is for sharing, knowledge is for everyone. And in that circumstances, we nowhere at point of time thought of putting some kind of a barriers or fencing those properties to say that, no, this belongs only to me. It may be from your Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Charaka Samhita, or Shushruta, Yoga. These kind of things they did not file any patents. They did not file any copyrights or your literary works such as Abhinava Shakuntala by Kalidasa or any such literatures you think of. And today also it still makes you remember about so creative works. So these works, they did not thought of protecting it or making commercial returns out of it. Rather, that was for the social cause. That was for the people to enjoy, right? So this was a circumstance, and even I would like to acknowledge the point of Professor Jaffet sir when he was specifying. And I remember Jaffet sir when I was in National Law School of India University. We were in the same floor where the Center for Intellectual Property Rights Research and Advocacy was at the same floor, and the Jaffet Sir Center was also there. Used to regularly interact. See, at one side, there is an intellectual property rights which says, I need to protect my invention. Now I create a new kind of a drug, a pharmaceutical drug for the present pandemic situation, that is COVID-19. You come out with a drug and you file a patent. You get a patent. What do you mean by patent? Patent means you get a monopoly. You can commercialize it. That means no one else can manufacture your product. That means I have a patent over this particular drug and I cannot manufacture. I have invented it, and if someone, and I will manufacture and I'll sell it, and today you sell COVID-19 drug to any price, people are ready to buy. Which category of people are ready to buy? Only those for whom it is able to buy, who are rich or whatever. It depends on the amount. For a situation, I will just give you a situation where in the year 2016, the Supreme Court passed one particular interesting order. Okay, you must have known about a cancer drug. Okay, Novartis case where the cancer drug was costing you 2.5 lakh rupees. Okay, for one set of particular dosage. And when this particular cancer drug, which was manufactured and sold, and obvious reason for him, he said that, see, I'm the manufacturer. I would have done my clinical trials. I would have spent lakhs together of amount or close together of amount on the scientists, on development, on various drugs which I have done, and all those things have failed. And today somehow I am able to come out with this particular drug, and I am costing this 2.5 lakh rupees. And this is my cost of the drug. And it was there in the market. It was running like that. But on an average person, and India being consisting, or developing country, having a lot of other issues such as poverty, unemployment, etc. and etc. In that circumstances, is it feasible? Is it available? Is it accessible? Is it affordable for the people in India to those medicines? That is the first question we need to be asking. If that is the case, and at one place there is a Patent Act 1970 which says, I give you a monopoly for 20 years, and next 20 years you can monopolize, you can do whatever you want. And at the other side, you have the Constitution, that Constitution under Article 21. I hope the commerce students would have read about Constitution, and many other people would have read about the Constitution. A science all degree, now it's a Constitution is a compulsory subject matter. Nevertheless, I mean to say Article 21, which speaks about right to life. What do you mean by right to life? Right to life include right to, you must have known about when the right to education, they made it compulsory under Article 21A, right? Right to education, right to health, right to clean drinking water, right? Like this various rights which was enumerated, and Supreme Court has been elaborated very much that it is not only a general, simple, regular right, it is a fundamental right of a person with respect to that. And if it is a fundamental right, and how is my access to right to health? It is through the medicines. And is this medicine, which is where India having a huge amount of cancer patients, and is this amount is being accessible, available, and affordable for the people? If this is a challenge, won't there be a contradiction with respect to the patent law at the one side and the constitution law at the other side? I hope you will be able to appreciate this particular point. How is this contradiction? A contradiction at one place which says, I have a monopoly for 20 years and I will manufacture and go. That is the inventor who says. At the other side, you have a constitution which gives you all the people right that, no, you have a right to health. So who is guaranteeing you the constitutional right, fundamental right? It is against the state. So now you have the other party. So one, the inventor at the one place. Second, you have the citizens' right, that is a fundamental right, and it is being guaranteed by the state. Now with these three parties, and who is granting patent to you? Once again, the state. The state is granting patent to you. That means a monopoly for 20 years to you, for the inventor. At the other side, the constitution guarantees the fundamental right to the citizens. Won't there be a huge clashes between these two? Won't you see that? Oh, how can, then which right does it exist? Which right prevails over one over the other? Whether the patent right prevails or the fundamental rights prevails. So if that is a question to you, then I would, if you would have been in the chat box, some people could also answer in the chat box stating that which right would prevail. whether your constitutional right, fundamental right will prevail, or your patent right will prevail. Can someone put up in your chat box in this particular, what do you say, Zoom app chat box? I find 73 participants over here. Can you people just quickly, what do you say, type in so that I can also know that you people are, what do you say, very much present and active on this particular forum. Can I know some chat answers quickly, please? I just don't want to make this total monopolistic or what do you say, single one-sided way of telling. So I just wanted some kind of a response from your side to say that what's your, which right should prevail, whether your patent right should prevail or whether your fundamental right should prevail. That is your right to health for accessing accessibility of your medicines or healthcare or health system. Chat answers, please. Or is it enabled or not disabled? Okay, Santanu Das sir says, he is the first person to say, sir, it is my fundamental right. Now, Varshini says, sir, it is a fundamental right. Very good, very good one. Someone who says, sir, my patent right. See, if you say, okay, fundamental right should prevail, then what should, so then what do you mean to say? You would mean to say that, okay, now whatever price you have, the drug which you are doing, I'll break those drug into pieces. I'll find out what is the formulations which is there inside it. And I'll come out with the same kind of a drug and in the market, and I will not bother about your monopoly. I'll not bother about your IP rights. I will just go on manufacturing and selling in the market. Is that you say? If that is the circumstances, don't you think that the person who invents and he has put lots of money, effort, energy, knowledge into it, won't he be deceived out of it? Won't he be losing his patent right? Forget about it. If he loses his patent right, can there be a motivation for him in future that how can I once again invest money to you for bringing out new innovations if you take my patent rights? Just like that. So what do you say for this? Santanu sir and Miss Veena TN also says it's a fundamental rights. Now, how do you cope up with this? There is a great difficulty. There is a great debatable point. And this is where, okay, I hope you people understood this debatable point of one at the side where you have an inventor's right, a patent right. At the other side, you have the patient right, okay, the patent right and the patient right. So which right should prevail? Was a question to you all. So now many people gave voting for fundamental right, fundamental right. I remember my professor used to say that once upon a time, a scientist would come and say that, hey, come on, everyone is taking patent. Patent is a very bad idea. If you monopolize, how can we utilize it? How can we further do research upon it? How can we further develop upon it? It's a very bad idea. A patent should not be there. It was a one-sided argument by one of the scientists when he used to do. After a few years, we came back running to my professor. It seems that he said, sir, I have an issue. What is that? See, now I have come up with a new formula and now I would like to go for a patent. And our professor was really stunned. He said, hey, come on. All this time you used to say that patent system is bad. You should not give monopoly because it hampers the, what do you say? It hampers the, innovation, and you will not be able to do research and people are not able to access. So these were your questions, right? So now all of a sudden you say you want a patent right. Won't there be an immediate change in your thought in this particular perspective? I find Kalidas putting a comment in his chat box. He says, right to health is a fundamental right. Meanwhile, right to patent rights to be protected with state regulations. Okay, agreed. Patent right is protected under the Patent Act. Right is get medicines or health comes under Article 21. Miss Veena TM says, agreed. Right to get medicines are, yes, correct. I agree. That's what I'm communicating to you. In that circumstances, how do you go ahead? So that is what today we people are been understanding. There is a great debate upon this. At one side, the socialistic point of view is that IPR system is something you, excuse me, you bar it, you protect it, you say I'm fencing it, right? At the other side, there is a social perspective point of view, that how do you access the knowledge? How do you make further research or innovations in that? So these are the perspective which come up. Now you people might have been thinking a lot, how do we go ahead in these circumstances? One side, there's a patient, right? And if you just simply take away his patent right, what should he do? And there is no absolute motivation for you to do further research or creativity, right? Can you ask someone to do free work for 10 years? Will he do that? No one will do without any remuneration, without any returns. So that is what the labor theory speaks about, where John Locke's labor theory says that is also connected to intellectual property rights, which said if someone has put in his labor, if someone has put in his, that is a justifiable reason which he says, if someone has put in his labor, someone has put in his knowledge, someone has put in his effort, then he should be rewarded. That's a simple theory of labor theory, and that is what connected to the intellectual property rights, and says if someone has put in his labor, effort, capital, investment, etc. and etc., then he should be rewarded. So this is what the whole circumstances is. Dr. Sharmila says encroachment of others' invention can be prevented by Patent Act. Agreed. It is not encroachment, madam. We are not speaking about an encroachment of someone's right. Rather, if you have a patent at one place and there is a patient who is for example, COVID situation. Now you have a patient, a COVID drug. You have invented the COVID drug. Now you say, hey, come on, at any cost, at whatever cost you fix for your product, any people would come and purchase it. He will say, see, I'm going to sell the product for 5 crore or 1 lakh rupees for a COVID drug. If someone has COVID, they can come to me. I'll give you this drug for 1 lakh rupees and it will be gone. In that circumstances, how many number of people will be there to able to purchase this drug, where his annual income or whatever the other parameters and other things would be? In that circumstances, the situation which, or the conflicting point or the contradictory point which I am bringing out here is the patient right at one place and the patent rights at the other place. In that circumstances, what is the remedy do you have? Which right you should? Okay, now if a patient says, hey, come on, you give me the drug, I'll make copies of it and I'll distribute it. Can he do so? He cannot do so because the Patent Act says, I will be punishing you, whoever copies it. So what do you do? These are the debatable point. So that will keep, and in this debatable point, what did Indian Constitution, our Indian Supreme Court did? I will tell you. This was a conflicting time for a very long time. And in the year 2016 or 17, the court passed this particular Supreme Court judgment in this Novartis case that the Patent Act is not just for all your kind information. Patent Act is not just a monopolistic right. It gives a complete monopoly for the inventor. It comes with a condition. It comes with the terms. It says under section 84 of the Patent Act says, that whenever there is a national emergency, whenever your product, okay, is not affordable, is not available, is not accessible, then in such circumstances, if your product is not accessible, available, and affordable in India for people to purchase, then in such circumstances, we can give compulsory licensing for anyone who could do for a lesser price or for the price of affordable, accessible, and available. That is where in the year 2000, the Supreme Court of India passed an order and stating that, and in the patent office, primarily the application was filed for compulsory licensing, where they said that, Bayer said that we will be able to manufacture the drug for only 8,000 rupees. And that is where the controller also gave the permission for making compulsory licensing was granted to them, and it was challenged in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court also upheld the right, stating that no, we always above the patient right, above the patent right, the patient rights will prevail, the fundamental rights will prevail. That is where in India, I can guarantee you for next many years, the constitution will always uphold your fundamental right over any other rights. So this was a situation, and India upheld and proved that we, the constitution preamble, which says, we the people of India having solemnly constitute India into socialistic, secular, socialistic. We made it socialistic, right? So this is what it has proved. And it's a wonderland for us. India is really a wonderland where this is a situation. But India was not left like that. There was a huge lobby in United States of America where they passed section 301 out of cycle review against India. All these big pharmaceutical company filed a complaint against India in through US to WTO, stating that Indian IP ecosystem is faulty system. They are not been supporting the inventor. They are being doing all these kind of situations, and this is totally disrupting the innovations. All these kind of situations, a huge pressure was built in WTO against India. At that point of time, various developing and underdeveloped countries, SAARC countries, supported India and said that no, at the point of affordability, availability, and accessibility and national emergency situation, then in such circumstances, the state has its rights to issue compulsory licensing, and no interference from WTO or any other body should be made. And we support India to do this because India was a South pharmacy. We are the largest. We are the largest producer of pharmaceutical drugs, and that's why India is called as a South pharmacy of Asia. So this is the background. With this background, court also upheld the rights of the patient. Okay, then you should have felt that, oh my God, is in India the IP ecosystem is gone? Is in India we don't find a conducive ecosystem? Please wait, dear friends. Please wait, dear professors. That India, from its enactment of the legislation, or from it's the constitution, or the establishment of constitution we have issued. Can you someone just guess how much compulsory licensing has India issued on understanding this situation? Can someone put up in the chat box? Ms. Veena, Dr. Sharmila, Dr. Santanu Das. Sir, can you just tell me how many compulsory licensing India has issued? Can someone put some chat answers? Some chat answers, please. Santanu sir, Ms. Veena madam, Dr. Sharmila madam. Dr. Sharmila madam says 1,800. What is this 1,800? I'm asking is how many compulsory licensing is being issued by India after its independence on patents. You say 1,800? No, or some figure you are mentioning. Santanu sir, Ms. Veena madam. More than 1 lakh. Okay. She madam says more than 1 lakh patents are being taken up and compulsory licensing are being issued in India. Do you think so, madam? Ms. Veena madam, Kalidasa sir, Ms. Varshini madam. Sir, please send feedback form. Vikrant. Okay, no numbers? Okay, fine, no problem. Nevertheless, as I was mentioning that from the independence, Dr. Sharina madam, you're absolutely wrong that India has issued only one compulsory licensing so far. Only one compulsory licensing so far it has been issued. In that circumstances, absolutely you need not worry that Indian IP ecosystem is wrong or faulty or whatever it is. When Justice Iyengar's committee report, when formulation of this Patent Act was brought, he was rightly thinking that India being, we are not capitalistic country, we are socialistic country. And said that, see, if that is the circumstances, the Patent Act should not be at a one-sided law to simply protect the rights of the inventor. Rather, it should be a balanced law. The IPR ecosystem in India is not a one-sided ecosystem or a capitalistic country or a capitalistic viewpoint or the inventors only, but also it brought out a balanced viewpoint. That is where Indian patent law is being referred at various places in various countries, appreciating Section 84 of the Indian Patent Act about its compulsory licensing being issued whenever there is a national emergency or whenever there is a question of availability, affordability, and accessibility question which came up. This is where Indian patent law is not simply or to just to take away or to just to fence your right, but it comes with certain conditions, right? So this is where the IP law is not, that is where to make you people understand IP law is not just for the inventor, it is also for the society. It brings a balance between the inventor and the society. And compulsory licensing is also not that immediately they will issue compulsory licensing. Once again, it came up with certain terms and conditions stating that there should be minimum 3 years buffer time for him to make some money out of it. There should be, what do you say, you should pay him some royalty for giving compulsory licensing. First, I need to approach the inventor, sir, not directly the patent office or the Supreme Court for issuing compulsory. I should ask the inventor, hey inventor, now this is the affordability situation is there. Can you reduce your price? And I'm able to manufacture. Can you give me a license? And I will pay you so much of royalty for it. And this is a negotiation. First, a negotiation should take place. After the negotiation, if the negotiation is not successful, then the patent office will sit. Then they will decide upon whether your price, whether it is reasonable price. And even after issuing compulsory licensing, the compulsory licensor should give royalty to the inventor, okay, by respecting it. And Supreme Court also asked, okay, fine, now you say 2.5 lakh rupees for a drug, then can you give us a breakup for this specific drug? Then at least we can make some kind of a balance point for you to get some reimbursement, get some returns. And that was not given in the Supreme Court. Then it was not so justifiable for them to understand. Hence, and it was also difficult to give a breakup for your drug, because 10 years, 15 years, you would have been research in various other area and would have been failed. And this was only because not all your, it's something like cinema. Not all your cinemas are blockbusters, right? Only 1 or 2 cinema will get blockbuster and rest of the films are flop situation. In that, who will compensate for those flop? Right? So all those things you are going to have. These are the few points for your kind consideration, that whether Indian IP ecosystem, is it only towards a monopolistic point or capitalistic point? I say no, it is a balanced point. At one place, it gives rights to the inventor for getting appropriate returns. At the other side, it says then the knowledge shall transfer to the whole society and the whole society can use your intellectual property rights. So that is what the IPR system brings, a balanced ecosystem. So with this pronote, with this introduction about and putting you people into a debatable situation that how the patient rights are being balanced. Now you got that the inventor right is also balanced, the patient rights are also balanced in a situation, and neither the fundamental rights is higher nor the patient rights is higher. Rather, they are being brought to a balanced situation. So that is what India has done, right? So and now with this IP ecosystem, you will be I think you will be able to really appreciate on its real the law and thing situation. Now let me take you through the formal understanding of this intellectual property rights, how this intellectual property rights could be or will be or is being helpful for, excuse me, 1 second, I'll just open up my PPT. Yes. So this is what we have been done. And in the earlier Jaffet sir was telling, and India, after passing this particular legislation in 1970 to till date, there was various developments which was taking place, and India did not give much importance for thorough or what you say. There has been a lot of activity which has been keep on carrying out on conducting various awareness program, training program, and other things from a very long time. But it has picked up on a very fast pace, like it was because after 2000, what do you say, National Intellectual Property Rights Policy 2016, when this policy came in the year 2014, they all thought that no IP ecosystem in India should rise like anything. There is a reason for it. I'll tell you what is the reason why today we are speaking about intellectual property rights, why we are establishing intellectual property rights. Is a concept new to us? No, absolutely no, it is not at all new to us. But why this now all of a sudden we are talking about intellectual property rights? Because the 2000 century, the decade was called as an innovation system, innovation decade. Now we have passed on from innovation decade to IP system on a fast and on a what do you say, more. 1 second, I have received some chat. I just have a look at it. What is this chat question? Okay, not able to see. Okay, nevertheless, so I will give you those reasons and understand about this intellectual property rights. Okay, so this is a small trending situation, and as I was telling about National Intellectual Property Rights Policy, which said that no, India should not just be like this. We need to get up like anything on intellectual property rights to protect our innovations. And in the patents, there are majorly 4 major classification. One is electrical, one is mechanical, chemical, and biotechnology are the 4 major branches. And this is a number of filed and granted in the year 1617. It's bit 3 or 4 years old, but nevertheless, it still holds good. And this is a number of filings in Karnataka. We stay in 3rd rank. And this is the institutions in the earlier where various people have mentioned about its number of filing. So it's all including in Institute of Science are 400 by Wipro also they were telling that. And here are the institutions which are filing. Okay, various universities are filing, etc. So why I gave you these figures was, that see earlier for academicians, there was one particular strict point of consideration that yes, what is a target for an academicians? Of course, you need to give 100% results, teaching, etc. and etc. etc. Now there is also new targets like not new targets. It's been from a very quite a long time. They say you need to be publishing how many number of publications, how many number of presentations, how many were national, international presentations and publications, etc. and etc. They used to come up with. But what happened at a later stage? What happened at a later stage is a question. When everyone were in a mood to make a publication, when the Mashalkar said that if you publish for an academician or the researchers whose major thought is or primary objective of him would be once he comes out with the result, he would like to publish it and let other people know that what he has done. This is what he used to do every time. When he used to do like this, Mashalkar addressed him and said, if you publish, you are going to perish. What is this? If you publish, you are going to perish. How can you say? And he was telling that why it is publish, perish. Because if you publish your research result, okay, and when we are already published and someone would have seen your things and said, hey dear, this is a wonderful subject or a wonderful subject and you have published, there any person would copy your work and result and do it, or various circumstances, Indian research and in that is where the global innovation index, which said about, when in the year 2014-15 we stood at 86th rank, in the year 2019 we stood in 56th rank. And what is this 52nd rank? What is this major difference between 52nd rank and 58th rank? How does it matter? See, this is an innovation index where all over the world, the WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, will come up with this global innovation index. And this index says which country stands with its innovation ranking. And what is the IP ecosystem? What is the number of filing? What is the number of grant? Those were the criteria which they would be looking at. There is another journal which was about the paper publication. I think, can anyone could say or think of in which rank does India would stand for its paper publication? Can anyone put in the chat box? Which rank does India stand in the circumstance of paper publication? Any chat answers? Okay, many answers could be there. And India stood at 8th rank in its publication. What do you mean by this? If we are standing 8th rank, that means there is a lot of research which is happening. There is a lot of innovations which is happening. But why did we come up in the IP ecosystem to 86th rank? That was a question. When this was realized, and there they thought that IP should be strengthened, where huge amount of people's mindset that filing of a patent is a huge cost proceedings, it is a delay in its proceedings, etc. and etc. were the various presumption among the people. But now the government, after National Intellectual Property Rights Policy, had 7 objectives to, eradicate various places. What are all the unnecessarily delay in the process which was there? They cut down all those things. For example, in the patents, there were various patents and trademark. There were various forms which were there. All those things, form has been removed by the Department of Industry and Commerce, DPIIT, which has been removed all those unnecessary forms, and have speeded up. They have increased what 250 patent examiners were there to 750 patent examiners. Today we have, earlier the patent IP officers or the patent officers, the law firms used to say, oh my God, the patent office is very slow. They are giving very late replies and other things. And now they are telling that, oh, patent office, please slow down. We are not able to answer your examination reports, which is coming fast to us. So this is a situation. So this kind of situation has turned, and today the IP ecosystem has been very friendly today, and patent system is friendly in the IP. Today you can file your patent application online without any patent agents or anyone support, directly through online. There is no, and they have also eliminated for the patent agents to file hard copies to the patent office. Everything should be online. So these are the situations which they have upgraded everything and made a friendly ecosystem, and that is where India has come to 52nd rank. And I was telling you about the paper publication and this innovation ranking. So, and especially there was one comparative study or analysis which says our papers were being watched by various people at various researchers and industry, that especially on snake venom. One of the situation which I have been told was that the snake venoms, regarding the snake venom are used for the medicinal purposes. There is a huge amount of research which has been conducted in India. And these papers were seen by various people in the industry and who are doing research. And what did they do? Looking at your research and other things, they filed patents for it. Okay, and I will give you the clear instances with the cases what happened. Before going to that, so these are the issues which I have brought to your kind consideration. Now I will make you, now the next stage which I'm going to tell you is about what is this philosophy of IPR? What is the principles of IPR? What is the primarily IPR means? It's only 3 stages for us to understand. If you understand this particular 3 points, you are known about IPR, right? Okay. Now, what do you find in this particular slide? This is a wonderful, very, if there was an interactive session, then it could have been very interesting. Nevertheless, then can you tell me in your chat box, What do you find in my slide, in my this particular presentation? What do you find in this particular slide? Many people used to tell it's a Dronacharya, Arjuna, and other Pandavas, or someone used to say the teacher and student relationship. Someone used to say, sorry, the person who is aiming at some kind of a thing, very concentration, there is a concentration, there is a dedication. He is looking at the particular point, or he is looking at the bird's eye. Various things, answers used to come. But I would say that my point of circumstance and stating is that, see, intellectual property is not at all a new concept, and everyone agreed. And it is not there either for centuries or for decades or for centuries, or it is been from very time immemorial in India. What is that? What do you mean? What do you mean by decade? What do you say? Time immemorial. See, the teacher is telling about the techniques of using this archery and to the student. What do you mean by this? There is a technique or the technology transfer is happening over here. Okay, and what is the technology transfer, or what is this, the knowledge transfer from Guru to Shishya which happened, and what was the promise which was made by Dronacharya to Arjuna? Okay, you must have been remembered that Dronacharya said, hey Shishya, I will make you the only best person in archery. What do you mean by this? Only best person. Only best person means that it is nothing but a monopoly. You must have known about the commerce students would have been here. They would have said that what is the commerce says? If I am the Coca-Cola manufacturer and have a trademark, my trademark is Coca-Cola, and if I register for a trademark, that means I alone shall use. That means monopoly. If monopoly is the one which you have. Now you have a brand name, the design of a car such as Audi car. Audi car is a wonderful, beautiful car, and excuse me. Now they have a exclusive design, or the logo, that the rings, or the Jaguar, the Jaguar jumping kind of logo. So these logos or the designs of cars is an exclusive right. Okay, and I alone shall use, and no one else shall use it, and I get monopoly. So that is the first principles of intellectual property rights, of the philosophy of IPR, is that it gives you a monopoly for your invention or a creativity. And presently you can say not complete monopoly, rather it is a limited monopoly. That means for patents, 20 years of monopoly. For copyrights, lifetime of an author plus 60 years as a monopoly. For designs, 10 years plus 5 years extendable, 15 years monopoly. But for trademark and geographical indication, the monopoly is for 10 years, and every 10 years you can keep on renewing and continue the monopoly as much as years. Like Coca-Cola has more than 200 years of its history, continuing with its trademark, okay, and protection or its trade secrets or the formulation. So this is what we understand. The first principles of IP is to create monopoly. And what is the second principle? If someone wants to use my invention, use my product, for example, Coffee Day, did the Coffee Day establish everywhere its own shop? No, they give it franchising. So that is where it is called as, I give a license, I give an assignment, I assign you my right to you and say that, okay, fine, you go and do the business in my name. Okay, or you can manufacture or sell or use my invention in your course. I can give licenses likewise, or transfer my rights such as copyright, where the faculties would have given your copyright transfer to the publisher for publishing that particular work, and rights being transferred to the publisher. So this is where the second principle is that where you can transfer your rights to other person on payment of certain royalty, on payment of certain compensation, on payment of certain consideration, etc. and etc. This is the second principle. What is the last principle of IP? Can anyone answer? What is the last principle of an IP? What is the last principle of an IP, or the third principle of IP? Yes, the third principle of IP you can find in this particular slide. What did this say? It said, if someone uses your invention or your copyright or your patents without your permission, then it can amount to an infringement. it can amount to a damages, it can amount to a penalty. Now you have what do you say, the especially in the cinema film industry, where the movies were pirated. Today the movie has been released in the evening, it used to be uploaded in the internet. Now those things is being so much stopped by the Supreme Court by blocking various websites through the intermediaries, that such what do you say, sites should not be there, and this leads to a huge amount of loss to the film industry or the right owner or the IPR holder. Hence they should be punished. Hence they should be, especially for copyright and trademark, there is a criminal imprisonment also for pirating your series or your work. For patents, there is only damages, loss or profit, loss and profit. You can be asking for, you can ask for what do you say, compensation. Okay, so you must have known about this Apple versus Samsung. Okay, in Apple versus Samsung, there is a huge fight which happened over its design patents, various technology, its shape and other things in the United States, Australia and various other places, and court issuing huge amount of money as a compensation or a damage for the Apple company over the Samsung, etc. and etc. So this is a three major principle. One, creates a monopoly. Second, it gives right for the inventor to use, manufacture, sell and offer for sale and transfer the right to any other person on payment of royalty. Third, if someone takes your right, then you have a right to infringement. That's all the IPR says. Okay, that's all the IPR says. And this, knowing about this is not at all new thing for us. It is there from time immemorial. Yes. Now let me say about the traditional knowledge and indigenous knowledge, where Jaffet sir was also referring about our various people, you know about our Janapada songs, Janapada Geetegalu, Aita Namma tradition, culture, our traditional knowledge. What happened to this? See, this is about the turmeric case which I'm telling you about. You must have all known about this turmeric case, neem case, tulsi case, clove case, right? So this was what is the purpose which we use for turmeric? Turmeric is used for food, medicines, dyeing, color agent, etc. So all these things were done, and this is also having some medicinal qualities like blood purification, skin infection diseases, etc. And in the year 1994, in United States awarded the patent over turmeric to University of Mississippi. Okay, wow, wonderful. A patent can be, now for every IPR such as patent, trademark, copyright, designs, there are certain criteria. What is the criteria for a patent? For a patent, it should be novel, it should be non-obvious, it should be industrially applicable. Only these are the three major criteria it is to be there. Now, is it novel? Is it new for us? Is the turmeric is new to get a patent there? And this three criteria is worldwide one and the same, whether in India, Australia or any other place, it is one and the same. So in such circumstances, whether it is novel, so for us it is not novel because we have been using it from generation to generation. My mother know, my grandmother know its utilization for wound healing purposes, and and the patent which was granted to him is really a very wrong one, is what our argument was. When we made this argument before this patent office, stating that no, the patent should not be given to him because University of Mississippi, because it lacks the novelty. Novelty is not there in this particular patent. Hence, patent should not be granted to them. That was a point which was told there. And the patent office asked, hey, come on, if you say it is novel, it is not novel, can you give us some document? Because they require some document, right? How can the patent office in United States know about your turmeric used in your kitchen, your ingredients, right? So they asked for a document. So now all people came, and the document should be a published document, right? An accessible document. And when they came back to India about its document, nowhere, all our traditional knowledge such as Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Charaka Samhita was all in various Talegari, written on stones, etc. and etc. But there was no any published form of acceptance. But in the year 1940s, there was one newspaper article which spoke about, and it should be prior publication. From before 1995, it should be published. So So when India took this particular small paper article and produced before the patent office said that, and in this article it said after the delivery of a baby, the umbilical cord, they used to cut this umbilical cord and apply the turmeric. And why they used to apply the turmeric? Because it had antiseptic quality and wound healing properties. This was said in that particular article, and this article, published article, became a prior art to the patent office. And from that, they struck down claim number 3 and 4, which was about wound healing properties and antiseptic quality. And that later on, the whole patent was also revoked or cancelled at a later stage. But why I brought this particular case? If you publish, if you publish, and I was referring to Mashalkar's statement, publish and perish. If you publish your patent, if you publish your results, your invention before filing a patent, okay, and before filing a patent, then what does it leads to? It says, the patent office will say, hey dear, you have published, the article is already published in the year 2017. And in the year 19, you have come to patent office and file an application for patent. How can I give? Because already it is being published. Your own article is being published, understandable, but it is known to everyone and it remains no more novel. It remains no more novel. Hence, as it remains no more novel, as it remains no more, and already there is a publication, hence patent cannot be given. That is where Masharkal statements you should know about the further. He said, if you publish, you perish, but how do you prosper? If you patent and then publish, then there is a prosperity. So that is what his statement was in the year 2004 and 5. He used to say that if you publish, you perish. Rather, if you patent and then today you file patent application, tomorrow you go and publish in anywhere, and various engineering and science graduates and biotechnology people will come and say, sir, tomorrow I have an exhibition, tomorrow I have a presentation, what should I do? No worries. File a provisional patent application today, which costs just 1,600 rupees online. If it is a hard copy, 1,750 rupees. File it online and say, it's a kind of a reservation. I reserve my right and I have already done this and I'm yet to file my complete specification and I have to do some more work, and you do this particular thing on filing. Tomorrow you can go your file here, or you have 12 months time plus 6 months, 18 months time to file your complete specification, right? So this is what he said, that we should not publish before we file a patent application, provided if your invention, you feel that it has a commercial ability, you feel that there is a lot of potential for getting a patent, then you should go for a patent. So that is what our words were. But in the year 2020, in the month of January, when our prestigious and very honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi further said that, hey, come on, if you have a patent with you, what is the use? What is the fun? You have a patent and you put it on your wall that I have a patent. You can sign so much of things which I say, all those things, which is what we have got at rewards and other things. You put it on wall. What is the fun with us? Rather, he said, this I3P was a one which we coined, and we conducted a national conference on it, which said I referred for innovation, 3 P's referred for 1 P referred for patent, and next P referred for, can anyone say who have attended National Science Congress, which happened in GKVK, and Narendra Modi said about this particular point on intellectual property rights? What is that? Yes, right. It's about innovate, patent, and produce. If you just keep patent with you or hanging on your wall without manufacturing it, without giving its license, say I am a faculty, hey, how can I manufacture, sir? I'm a faculty. So if you are a faculty, then give it for licensing. Let other people manufacture. If it manufactures, then it goes abroad, across the country. Then there is an economic rotation. There's an employment generation. So that is what he says, everything, and he brings to prosperity. Innovate, patent, produce, and prosper. This is a slogan of Narendra Modi, and that is where we all have to strive, not only for the development for an individual, rather for a whole country. If India comes out with the product and other country would purchase it, then we get our economy get rotated. Rather, if we pay, it is something like your Apple phone or and the phone which is manufactured by any other local persons. If they manufacture locally, then that is why your local to local is also a major initiative, right? So if you manufacture, your products is lesser for your customers. But if you manufacture and sell it to other, then you get returns to India. Indian GDP will rise. Indian export will rise. Rather, today we have been paying huge amount of money for Indian imports. So that should reduce. So if you export, no more money come to India and India will prosper. If you, if you import, then our GDP will get low and he will get the profit and I need to be paying for a huge amount of money, something like your Apple phone, where you need to pay 60-70 lakh rupees, 1,000 rupees for purchasing a phone. Okay, because the cost is the amount of 60,000 rupees is not for the cost for its product manufacturing, not for its raw material. Rather, the most of the money we are going towards the patents or the intellectual property for that. That may be a brand, it may be the technologies which is embedded in it. So a single mobile phone can define all your IPs, right? So with this, when India, when this case filed, India filed, that is through our CSIR, filed as a case in, filed an objection in the patent office stating that they should not be granted, and they gave this reference. Okay, and USPTO accepting the evidence, they revoked his, they cancelled his claim number 3 and 4, and later all other claims were cancelled. Similarly happened in the name case and Basmati case. So later, if this happens every time, can India go and object in various other countries where our traditional knowledge was misappropriated or biopiracy took place in United States, in European Union, in Japan, and various other such a country. So that is where India thought, what is the one single point which we missed? We missed its publication or accessibility of our Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and Yoga to the other country people to know whether there is already things which is in existing. That is where India came up with a document, a digital platform called as TKDL, Traditional Knowledge Digital Library, and it had all our traditional knowledge traditional digital library consisted about Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Yoga, and Charaka Samhita, everything under this, with translated into 5 different international languages such as English, Japan, French, Germany, and Spanish. Okay, and this is a TKDL website, how it looks like, and it has more than 2.50 lakh, okay, or 0.250 million medicinal formulations. Okay, is available to access for patent offices across the world. If someone files a patent application in a Japan patent office on some formulation which is there, and the patent office will type and see in this TKDL whether there is any such 1, 2, 3, 4 formulations which is there, then the patent office says, hey dear, already patent is there, already this TKDL has a prior knowledge, hence it cannot be granted because it lacks novelty. So these were the various cases. India had a huge challenge in its protecting. Thereafter, this once again TKDL system was looked by, and various people in various other places such as China, other African countries started this kind of documentation and publishing its documents so that no other people take protection over your traditional knowledge. Your traditional knowledge should not be taken benefit by someone else. As Jaffet sir was telling that indigenous people are really wonderful. They forget about all your formal education. They are more educated. They know medicines. They know engineering. They know many things, right? You are streamlining people. The education system is going to drive only to the common person. Okay, you are delivering the person for the sake of employing in someone's place. No, that's not what we require. We require person to give employment. We require persons to do startup. We require persons to come out with his innovation, and he need to be prospering for him. So this kind of ideology and perspective should be changing with us. So that is where the IP or innovation ecosystem will support you. And that is where Startup India, Make in India, and various such initiatives which has come up with, and state is supporting and supporting to come up this kind of activity. Here is what, and this is what briefly the issues which I have brought you before. I told about the philosophies, I told about the conflict between patent and patient rights, I told you about the cases regarding turmeric case, neem case, okay, and how India cope up and brought this particular TKDL. Today you go and if you have some breathing problem, some knee problem, or pain, or some kind of a problem, you give this thing, you will get 101 formulation in the TKDL, which is available within your kitchen, right? So this is what, and likewise on all these cases where more than 250 cases were internationally which was filed, and on patents on our traditional knowledge was all struck down, and those lists are also available. Sometimes whenever we have time, we can also explore those kind of points. So what is our IPR? IPR is in the form of innovation, books, paintings, symbols, images, etc. It's a legal right given to the inventor. Okay, it is territorial. That means very much people would be, sir, I have a patent in India. That means I can protect in any other part of the country? No. If you have a patent in India, only in India you can protect. If you want to get the protection in United States, then you have to file application over there. If you want to get the protection in Japan, any other country, then you have to file application. For example, if you have come to know about the COVID drug, then you need to see where are all your market, and you have to file application over there. So these are the types of IP: patent, trademark, copyright, designs, geographical indication, trade secrets, semiconductor and layout design, and plant varieties. GI is one of the important topic which gives the power to the farmers, the power to the traders, the power to the person who is manufacturing, who is involved in growing. So he is a direct beneficiary of this GI, geographical indication. It is given for, it is a sign used in a product that have a specific geographical origin, such as your Darjeeling tea, your Nagpur orange, your Mysore silk saree, etc. and etc. Okay. So GI is valid for 10 years. It is given for your agricultural product, natural product, manufacturing, your handicraft. You know, in handicraft, which comes, can you know which is something nearer to Bangalore, which has given a GI? Can anyone put up in the chat box? Can anyone put up in the chat box which is the nearest GI which is there near the Bangalore for handicraft? Yes, it is Channapatna Toys, right? Channapatna Toys is one of the GI for the handicraft. Then it comes the copyright. Copyright is for what? Copyright is granted. It gives you an exclusive right for expression of an idea and not an idea per se. And copyright owner have a right to reproduction, translation, adaptation, performance. In detail, I will come on the next 5th. In detail, I'll tell you about this particular point also. Then registration is, and one of the beauty of this copyright is that registration is not compulsory. If your article get published in a journal, you need not file a compulsory application in the copyright registry. Rather, your publication itself will act as the document, and that is more than enough. But registering the copyright gives a conclusive proof. Okay, what are the rights or what are the types of copyright works which is covered under the copyright are? One is literary works such as your books, essays, compilation, computer program, artistic work, dramatic work, musical work, sound recording, and cinematographic work. So you can go and access, you can file application online. It's a very simple form to be filled up at http://copyregistry.gov.in. Of course, we say it is easy to register, but it is always better to take a professional support to file, because you need not break your head for its registration and etc. and etc. Copyright will be granted in 30 days. Okay, if no one objects your copyright. And next is an important component for trademark, especially for your management people, commerce people. Today, the various challenges which are coming up is on IP valuation. What is IP valuation? How do you value a trademark? Today, the Kingfisher or the how do you pledge your property, physical property. Likewise, you can pledge your trademark, your patents. You can say, hey, come on, I have 5 patents, can you give money? So IP securitization is also a new concept which is coming up. So there is no wonder it is, you can go and pledge your trademark, you can go and pledge your, you know, this MTR, Marvel Tiffin Room. This MTR was sold for 180 millions. Its trademark to a foreign company, right? A Netherlands company. It was sold for 180 million. Just imagine a trademark MTR, 3-letter word, right? So and which is all its product for manufacturing and other things, etc. and etc. Then trademark is valid for 10 years. Trademarks is given for names such as Mahindra, okay, Word, Google, Godrej. And you know about this sound mark. Okay, you know this, can you people remember about this? La 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 le le o, la 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 le o. Which mark is this? Yes, right. It's about the Kingfisher, right? Kingfisher is one of the mark which this is sound mark. So likewise, you know about this one more mark. It's called as tin tin tin. What is this mark referred for? This was a Britannia one, right? Likewise, your color mark. You know about this Windows. Microsoft Windows have 4 windows with color, different colors. So that is a color combination. And for colors also, you can have taste, you can have fragrance, you can have symbols, you can have something like your State Bank of India. There is one chabi kind of thing. So that is a logo of it, right? So that's a symbol. Or McDonald's Yum, right? So etc. So if you have filed application for TM, it is called as TM application. Then if it is R in a circle in a logo, then it means that it is registered. And here is a process. Once again, patents, as I said in elaborately, there are other session will speak about the patents. So here is an invention. Invention is for, it should be novel, non-obvious, and industry applicable. It will be valid for 20 years. And rights are given for making, using, offering for sale, selling, importing of your invention. So this is what it's defined under section 2(1)(j). So you can see this idli stand knob. A patent or invention need not be a huge rocket science. It can be a small invention such as your idli stand knob, your clip, right? This clip is also once upon a time, it's patented one. Your 3M's note sticks are also patented one. Your agricultural equipments are patentable, but not your agricultural methods. So non-patentable inventions like such as inventions which is contrary to the public order or morality. For example, you invent a key which can open any kind of a lock. Can I get a patent? A key which can open any kind of a lock. Is it novel? Yes, it is novel. Is it non-obvious? Yes. Is it industrially applicable? Yes. But can I get a patent? No, because it is contrary to the public order and morality. A method of treatment is not patentable. Mere admixture, no. Your business method, various commerce people come and say, sir, I have a beautiful business. That is like you are renting your bike, renting your home. Can I get a patent over it? No, absolutely. Your business model is not patentable. Your mathematical formulations are not patentable. But the softwares which are having some novel hardware is patentable. Okay. Then we have what is the process, etc. and etc. So design is also once again another component where design is for a shape, the pattern, the ornamentation, your jewelries, your car, your lock, your key. Okay. And this is valid for 10 years plus 55 years. And design is not protecting your functional feature. It should, what is the requirement for designs? It should be eye-catchy feature, new or original, applied to an article. It should not be a functional. It should not be what do you say, an artistic work or painting or sculpture. Okay, so this one I'll just skip and I'll come to this. Okay, a mobile phone can explain. Can anyone say what is the number of patents which could be there in a mobile phone? There is more than 2,000 patents would be there in a mobile phone. That the one trademark is there. The designs of the mobile phone is a design protectable subject matter. Various softwares, various songs, various applications, various designs are all protected under copyrighted works. So IPR policy, I have already told you, these were the 7 major objectives to create awareness among the people, to generate IPRs, legal and legislative framework to amend and change what is a suitable need which is to be made, administration and management, commercialization of IP, enforcement and adjudication. If there is, like, for example, various people used to say that IPR enforcement is not happening properly, hence they made appropriate changes. And human capacity development, that is where in the patent office, a huge IP office, the human resource has been capacitated. Okay, these are the few things Kscsd IP cell is going to facilitate. So they have, sir has already told, and that we are going to facilitate for various universities and institutions in protecting their intellectual property rights, creating awareness program, conducting training program, etc. and etc. Mandatory, and we have also requested for IPR to be as a mandated course for UG and PG courses, etc. So all that which we request is to be innovative. Sorry, once again, I will withdraw my word to say that to be innovative. Rather, I would like to say you're already innovative, but you need to be protecting those innovation and think out of the box. Don't buy the fake, produce original work. So that is all from my side, and it was really a pleasure talking to you all people, discussing about this debatable point about patent and IPR, patent rights at the both side, and all that which we say is to bring India into a creative India and innovative India. So with this, I would like to thank Seshadripuram group of institutions, Santanu Das Sab, and my own institution, Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology, our beloved Mr. Hemant Kumar sir, for providing me an opportunity to open up this particular Pandora box with IPR's issues and other things. And I would also like to thank Santanu Das sir, the principal, the trustee members, and all other people. Today we have come, and it's a really wonderful, and it is a new leap for us at Seshadripuram group of institution that we have done such a wonderful job. And I remember in the year 2018 or 17, I went to Seshadripuram group, Seshadripuram Degree College in which is that Mysore Road, Ullal Road. So there was an institute there. They called me to deliver a lecture on intellectual property rights for faculties and for the students. That was a wonderful remembering for me. And I remember the coordinator, Soumya madam, who was, and she, being a commerce background, she has taken an interdisciplinary subject on intellectual property rights and commerce as a topic for her research. And it is a great that she has been regularly contacting us regarding how do I go ahead with the IPR for commercialization? How does intellectual property rights help MSME, as a case study which she has taken for her PhD topic, and she's doing really very great. And I have a very good affiliation with Seshadripuram College, Degree College for on IPR programs, etc. and etc. And I would like to thank all the people for their support and patient hearing my lecture. Thank you very much. Santanu sir, over to you.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, I am done.
Thank you so much. Vivek ji,
Yes, sir, thank you.
As usual, you speak so vibrant way that entire IPR, you are a moving dictionary of IPR. So all details. So anyway, so I had been listening to you for many a times. So it was really wonderful that on the inaugural day itself you are there, because you are also the key person to initiate this move of establishment of Seshadripuram IPR cell. And so now the next procedure, as I'll share with you the MOU, what you have sent with the changes, so that at least by the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, I think. So either Wednesday or Thursday, we can get it signed both from both the end. So at the valedictory, we can show the MOU done. Because once the program winds up, again it will take hibernation. So before that, So really we thankful to you as well as Nagarjunji as well as Hemant sir from Kscsd for giving us a wide view. And I request the participant here, because as it is an inaugural session, no, around 750 people has registered. So will be no, from tomorrow it will be a FDP program. So therefore many of them has not joined. So FDP program tomorrow onwards, so they will be joining. So I'll be in touch with you after the program, so that no, how and which meet and everything will finalize, and then we'll go ahead. Thank you so much for your kind support, encouragement, and your continuous meticulous work for to go ahead with the IPR cell. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Good
you,
day.
sir. Thank you
Stay
very
safe.
much.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you, all the participants. You will be getting either by mail or the Telegram link, which link onwards tomorrow you have to join, and tomorrow onwards we'll be monitoring your active participation, or else we are not going to share any kind of certificate to you, because it started with more than 100, now it's 54. So frequently every session we'll be taking 2-3 attendance. What time we won't note, and based on that only we'll be giving you, and based on your active interaction with the speakers, we'll activate polls and chats. You have to be there. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much. Good day. Stay safe. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.